This broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. This broadcast will begin in 1 minute. This broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
He's going to take it himself for a championship. A double play wins it for free. Turn it to the end zone. What a catch. The cut. It's on touchdown.
Into the layup goes at the buzzer.
Wins it. The championship.
This broadcast is a production of the WJPA Sports Network, presented by CNX Foundation.
Cherry School District campus. Tonight, the WJPA Sports Network brings you a matchup of two of the remaining four unbeaten teams in the Black Hills Conference, the visiting Monessen Greyhounds and the host Fort Cherry Rangers. Hi everyone, I'm Bob Gregg along with Jack Sacco and our floor directors Scott Donnelly and Jason Tennant in the booth. Brett Gambita and Joey Cipoletti are working the cameras. Bill Chapo is producing in our downtown Washington studios. Both teams are 4-0 overall, 1-0 in the Black Hills Conference. Monessen has wins over Charleroi, West Green, Beth Center, and Sarah Catholic. The final of those opening conference play a week ago. Fort Cherry has beaten Northgate, Our Lady of the Sacred Heart, West Green before topping Chartiers-Houston last Friday night to open defense of its back-to-back conference championships. Tonight's game on the WJPA Sports Network is brought to you in part by Washington County College Center, operated by Community College of Beaver County. By Slovenian Savings and Loan, big enough to serve, small enough to care. By Washington County Human Services, take the first step toward a healthier life. Call 724-228-1234. By GG&C Bus, drive for GG&C. Call 724-222-2320. By Imperial Land Corporation, supporting the Fort Cherry Rangers. By RJ Diaz, your safe money guy in Bridgeville, Burgettstown, and Washington. By Waynesburg University, grow with us at Waynesburg University. By Sunny Days In-Home Care, providing compassionate care in the comfort of home. SunnyDaysInHomeCare.com. Coverage tonight also brought to you by Monarch Student Transportation. Monarch is now hiring. Log on monarchtrans.com for details. By Washington Financial Bank, for 125 years, proud to be the bank that gets you. By Bud Bear Mazda and Bud Bear Buick GMC on Route 19 South in Washington, home of the Bud Bear Cares Rewards Program. And by CNX Dreamfields, making your dream field come true. A little change in our pregame routine. Coach's Corner with Tanner Gary and Wade Brown will be coming your way next here on the WJPA Sports Network, presented by CNX Foundation.
Start strong and stay local. CCBC's Washington County College Center gives you the edge to get ahead. High school students can learn to fly before they drive with our Aviation Academy. If helping others is what you do, let us help you. Advance from LPN to RN and open new doors in your healthcare career. Or get ahead in college by earning general education credits. No matter your path, we're here to help you move forward. Learn more at ccbcwashington.com.
Slovenian Savings and Loan is here for your life, your future, and your dreams. While life's pace seems to get faster and faster, Slovenian Savings and Loan still stands by its traditional values of honesty, integrity, and building personal relationships. Enjoy all modern conveniences to make banking easy, combined with a down-to-earth, face-to-face way of doing business. Slovenian Savings and Loan on Boone Avenue in Strabane. Big enough to serve, small enough to care. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Friday Night Lights brings our communities together, but too many families in Washington County are being torn apart by opioid addiction. I'm County Commissioner Nick Sherman, and I want you to know you're not alone. Help is here. If you or someone you love is struggling, call our confidential hotline today at 724-228-1234. Together we can fight addiction and build a strong future for Washington County. 724-228-1234.
Welcome back to Jim Gary Stadium and Coach's Corner right now with Fort Cherry head coach Tanner Gary. First of all, this field is just absolutely incredible.
It looks beautiful. It was one of those things that in this area you always hope for, but never really knew if it was going to come to fruition. So to be standing down here right now, it's something that the community obviously excited about. We're excited about. So excited.
How'd your kids react to coming on this for the first time?
Yeah, we did a cool little, had them all stand on the edge of the track there, then all take their first step on the same time. They were hooting and hollering. We actually got a really bad rainstorm that day, and I basically had to pry the kids off the field. They didn't want to leave, so they were excited. Just long time coming.
4-0 at this point, and 4 really comfortable wins all the way through. How are you in comparison to where you'd like to be?
I think that we've honestly played some really clean football for the beginning of the season. I think that in years past you play those games and there's mental mistakes and things you got to kind of sharpen up on. Hasn't been a whole lot of that we've needed to harp on. So if we can just continue to climb with that, I think that we're in a pretty good spot.
Monessen, and I'll talk to Wade about this. He's had 2 battles the last 2 weeks. There has to be benefit to being in tussles coming into games like this.
Absolutely, you're used to being in a battle. Your team's in better condition because you've had to push yourself for a longer amount of time. So the fact that they've had some battles obviously is something that we're hoping that we get a chance to do tonight. And I know that they're going to come ready to play.
3 touchdowns for Matt tonight. If that happens, going to set a new all-time record. August 26, 2022. I know you guys were excited about Matt getting to the varsity, but could you see this?
I think that, from his the end of his sophomore year on, it kind of started to exceed all expectations, thinking that maybe we would have been able to get a Whitfield championship with him up here maybe by the time he was a senior, to be able to do that as a sophomore and all the accolades he's been able to accomplish. It's just a really, really good cherry on top to a fantastic career he's had.
Talk about the Monessen squad. First of all, what challenge your defense is going to have?
They have some really good speed. They have some good talent. They're physical up front. Number 8 is someone that we got to know where he's at all time. Number 7 can break one at any time. We just talked to our kids all week about having good eyes and understanding, what our reads are and trusting our reads and flying around. Need to have 11 hats on the ball at all times.
Offensively, what do you want to get done?
Want to really make sure we secure the line of scrimmage. I think that we're going to try our best to lean on our run and pass when we need to. It's something that we kind of pride ourselves on, is being able to establish a run game and really kind of trying to wear people out. So hopefully that's a recipe that we can pull off tonight.
I asked you specifically about Matt, but you've got a group of seniors. This is a generational group, and I know you ran into one of those in the state final a couple of years ago, but this is really a generational group.
Yeah, they're a special group of kids that have just done nothing but get better every single year and buy into the things that we're teaching. I think that whenever you have a group of kids that all are on the same page, it's fun to see how far they can progress, and I'm excited to see what this senior year brings for them.
Good luck tonight.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
For Cherry head coach Tanner Gary on our pregame show. I'll talk with Wade Brown when we come back on the WJPA Sports Network, presented by CNX Foundation.
Drives Fort Cherry. GG&C Bus Company is looking for CDL drivers. Enjoy flexible hours and scheduling and paid training for new drivers. Drug screening and background checks required. For 50 years, GG&C has provided safe, reliable student and public transportation. They're always looking for school bus, van, and charter drivers and student monitors. Equal opportunity employer. Learn more at ggcbus.com or call 724-222-2320.
Imperial Land Corporation is proud to be developing real estate in Washington and Allegheny counties. Over 3,000 acres can accommodate any size development. The nearly 900-acre Fort Cherry Development District along PA 576 is prime commercial real estate minutes from the Pittsburgh Airport and I-79. Visit imperialland.com or call 412-424-0495 for development opportunities. Good luck to the Fort Cherry Rangers from Imperial Land Corporation.
I'm RJ Diaz, your safe money guy. If you're approaching retirement, we need to talk. I offer retirement income planning strategies with lower risk and guaranteed income. Call me, 412-569-4000. And remember, I offer safe money investing with 0 fees. Let's get together for a free no obligation review of your retirement plans. I'm RJ Diaz, your safe money guy. 412-569-4000.
Here in Coach's Corner with Monessen head coach Wade Brown. Coach, 4-0 coming into tonight. Last two games have been real struggles. Both teams' opponents' records aren't very good, but you've struggled those two games. How does that help you get ready for tonight?
Well, I always think playing in nice, tough games always helps with character and building character in a team, because, you know, it's nice having the blowout games, but when you're in tough games and you have to fight to the end, it always builds character for you and your team.
Blowouts are fun, but this is the games like the last two get you work.
Right, and 4 quarters of work. And, you know, I mean, like I said, it builds character in your team. You know, they have to fight to the end. They have to keep going. They're not over on the bench laughing and playing around, watching the subs play. They have to really fight 4 quarters. And if you want to be a good team and you want to beat good teams, you got to learn how to win those type of games.
Through 4 games, where are the Monessen Greyhounds compared to where you'd like to be?
I think we're right where we're supposed to be. I mean, we're a good team. I mean, we're coming in playing a great team. It's pretty much a litmus test to see where we are as a team. I mean, we're playing a 2-time defending champ, so I guess that question will be answered at the end of tonight's game.
Matt Sig, obviously, all kind of stuff written about, but he has a cast around him that they've been doing this for years. You know, it's one of those generational groups.
Absolutely. I mean, he's a great kid. I've had a chance to talk to him a few times, and I really like him. I mean, Penn State's getting a good one, and guess what? I'll be happy to see him go.
What offensively, what do you want to try to get done tonight?
Ball control, not turnovers, not turn the ball over like we've been doing the past few games, and control the clock. That's what we want to do. We want to keep Matt on the sidelines over here drinking Gatorade.
Let him play defense.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, he does play defense. Yeah.
What are those special challenges that the Fort Cherry offense presents the Monessen defense?
I mean, they come out in so many different formations and sets that, you know, you just never know where they're going to go with the ball. I mean, that's the great thing about what Tanner does with his guys. He has them ready to go, and he has them in a lot of different sets to try to spread the ball around to everybody, and they do a really good job of it.
Good luck tonight.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Monessen head coach Wade Brown. More on our pregame show here on the WJPA Sports Network, presented by CNX Foundation.
Touchdown, Waynesburg!
Ever wanted to work behind the scenes of a sports broadcast? Waynesburg University's Department of Communication gives you the opportunity to do just that. Our students produce the show, call the action, and tell the story as it happens. Or get involved in the sports information side, taking stats, PA announcing, and delivering the results to a growing sports audience. The Waynesburg University Department of Communication is waiting to hear from you. So what are you waiting for?
For more information, visit waynesburg.edu. We go into individuals' homes and provide non-medical care for mainly senior citizens, but also people with disabilities.
For Sunny Days In-Home Care, John Bennett.
We do stuff like bathing, grooming, meal preparation, take people to doctor's appointments. Someone needs a little bit of assistance to help them stay in their home instead of going into a facility, and we like to come in and be the people that do that for them.
Sunny Days In-Home Care, providing compassionate care for your loved one in the comfort of their home. Find out more, sunnydaysinhomecare.com.
Welcome back to our pregame show ahead of tonight's Class 1A Black Hills Conference showdown between two undefeateds in Monessen and Fort Cherry. Let's take a look back at last week's games involving Washington and Greene County teams. Avella remained undefeated with an 18-6 win over West Greene in a Tri-County South Conference opener. Chaz Rush scored 2 touchdowns on runs of 1 and 8 yards. Noah Kimberlin scored on a 5-yard scamper. The Eagles held their 4th consecutive opponent to 6 points and are 4-0 for the first time in a dozen seasons. California survived a bevy of fumbles and penalties, but scored late in the 4th quarter on a Logan Hartley pass to Eli Carpenter for a 12-yard touchdown. Malachi Peak ran for the 2-point conversion to give the Trojans an 8-7 win.
And we're going to pause now for our national anthem.
Back to our recap of last week's matchups. Burgettstown dropped a tough 18-13 Black Hills Conference game. The Blue Devils got a 43-yard second quarter field goal from Colton County to trail 6-3 at the half. Michael Carroza returned the second half kickoff 78 yards for a score, and County's extra point along with a 40-yard field goal made it 13-6. However, Cornell responded with 2 scoring passes to grab the win. Beth Center gave first-year coach Tim Trump his first win with a 35-6 winner over Carmichael's in a Tri-County South opener. Tegan Veach scored 2 touchdowns, while Homer Headley, Enzo Brown, and Sincere Cruz all scored for the Bulldogs. Carmichael's lone score came on a Cannon Bootka run. Undefeated Jefferson Morgan rolled over Mapletown with a 63-6 decision. The Rockets were led by Deacon DeHoots 3 touchdowns. Also scoring for Jeff Morgan were John Woodward on runs of 20 and 4 yards. He ran for 112 yards total. Others scoring for Jeff Morgan were Seth Fox, who had a pair of touchdowns, Jeremiah Robertson, and Triton Farabee. The Maples' score came from Colton McKnight on a 4-yard run. Fort Cherry remained undefeated, claiming a 44-14 victory in its Black Hills Conference opener against Chartiers Houston. Matt Sigg ran for a touchdown and threw for 2 more, an 18-yard pass to Nick Massey and a 60-yarder to Landon Ternovsky. Eli Salvini reached the end zone twice, first on a 2-yard plunge and a 67-yard kick return. Amarion Levy scored twice for Chartiers Houston in the loss. Seton LaSalle scored 54 first-half points and cruised to a 61-14 Century Conference victory. Kamar Freeman scored 3 touchdowns for the Rebels, as Winless Shalroy got a scoring pass by Jackson Klinger. Washington moved to 3-1 with a convincing 35-14 win at Waynesburg. Tristan Reed rushed for 3 scores, and Javon Woods added 2 on the ground with 110 yards total. The Prexies converted on 13 straight third-down conversions to start the game. Caleb Patton had 4 catches for 54 yards. The Raiders scored on 2 passes, one to Daniel Brookover, the other to Jeffrey Blaird, both from Tegan Krause. Central Valley added to McGuffey's misery with a 49-6 win in the Western Hills Conference. The winless Highlanders got its lone score from Driston McAnallen on a 6-yard run. Central Valley scored 28 points in the second quarter and added 21 in the third. Ethan Sheard rushed for 3 scores. In non-conference action, Peters Township led 3-0 after the first quarter scored 3 touchdowns in the second, 2 on passes by Nolan DeLucia. Lucas Shanafelt returned a one-handed interception, 33 yards, to make Peters Township's lead 31-12. The Indians' final touchdown came on a Cole Newpaver 13-yard run. Newpaver rushed for 132 yards, and DeLucia threw for 159 more. Lucas Ross caught 6 passes for 132 yards. Trinity scored on a run by Jonah Williamson and on a Williamson 56-yard pass to Chase Kostelnik. Ringgold continued its bounce-back season with an impressive 33-13 win over Greensburg-Salem. The Rams led 27-0 at the half on touchdown runs by Dennis Hawkins and Amani Ward, and a pair of scoring passes from Hawkins to Dimitri Lowe for 30 and 41 yards. Ringgold's final score came on a 27-yard pass from Hawkins to Ward. Cannon-McMillan made it 2 consecutive wins with a 31-21 victory over Armstrong, scoring touchdowns for the Big Macs, where Braylon Wingfield on a 5-yard run, and a 27-yard pass from Ty Jansma to Ethan Campbell, 2 for Campbell, who made 8 catches for 147 yards, as well as a field goal by Reese Mates. Campbell scored on passes of 29 and 50 yards from Jansma, who was 16 of 27 for 254 yards. Next up, we'll take a look at the Week 4 schedule for Washington and Greene County teams when our pregame show continues here on the WJPA Sports Network, presented by CNX Foundation.
Monarch Student Transportation is proud to support the Fort Cherry Rangers. Monarch's primary goal is safe transportation with top-of-the-line equipment and the best drivers in the business. Monarch provides the highest quality transportation available, building on a tradition of safety and excellence. Monarch takes great pride in the schools and communities they serve. Monarch Student Transportation is now hiring. Call 888-317-4144 or online at monarchtrans.com.
You deserve a bank that drives your business. One that's with you for the long haul and knows how to keep your business rolling. At Washington Financial, we pride ourselves on delivering customized solutions, ones that are built for the unique journey your business is on. Go with the bank that gets you. Washington Financial Bank.
Welcome back to our pregame show. Monessen and Fort Cherry here on WJPA FM and the WJPA Sports Network. Thanks to Jack for that rundown for last week, and to both head coaches for chatting with us. We told you going into Coach's Corner, a little different routine here tonight. We've had booth issues, we had scheduling issues, but certainly glad to work our way through all of those. Tonight's action around the area includes another round of conference games for most of the small schools, one more week of non-conference play in 4A and 5A, and Cannon-McMillan finally getting into 6A Quad County action. Big Macs are home with Mount Lebanon tonight. Our other feature game on the WJPA Sports Network, Nate Rigotti and Bill Duquette and the crew are at Memorial Stadium in Cannonsburg for a game that both teams really need to win, perhaps Mount Lebanon even more than Cannon Mac, since the Blue Devils lost their conference opener a week ago. With Norwin and Hempfield both much improved and still ahead for Lebo and Cannon Mac, tonight's game is as close to a Week 4 must-win as you'll find anywhere. McGuffey's at North Park tonight to take on unbeaten North Catholic, one of the co-leaders in the 3A Western Hills. The Highlanders mired in a 14-game losing streak, the 5th longest in the WPIAL. In the 2A Century Conference, Wash High home to Stowe Rocks. Little Prexies coming off one of their most complete performances in a long time. The Vikings are sharing that losing streak rung on the ladder with McGuffey, having dropped 14 straight. Charleroi home with Keystone Oaks. The Cougars have lost 8 in a row since beating Stowe Rocks nearly a year back. Here in the 1A Black Hills, in addition to our game, Burgettstown will celebrate homecoming tomorrow afternoon, taking on Chartiers Houston at Hill Memorial Stadium, a game we'll have for you on WJPA AM and the WJPA Sports Network YouTube channel. Pregame set for 1:30. In the 1A Tri-County South, Avella, Jeff Morgan, California, and Best Center all won their league openers last week. The Eagles and Rockets improving to 4-0 overall. Tonight, Avella home to California. Jeff Morgan entertains Carmichael's. Beth Center goes to Ellsworth to play Bentworth. and West Green entertains Mapletown. Non-conference action tonight includes unbeaten Peters Township hosting West Allegheny and both teams' final tune-ups for conference play. Likewise, for the county's two 4A teams, Ringgold travels to Southmoreland, Trinity home to Bethel Park. Ringgold hosts Trinity in the Big Six opener next week, a game we'll have for you here on WJPA FM. And Waynesburg's gauntlet continues, though with a non-conference game tonight at home against Steel Valley. The Raiders lost last week to Wash High, play Steel Valley tonight, then head to Dormont Stadium to play Seton LaSalle on a short week. They'll play that game Thursday night under the lights in Dormont. When our two teams met a year ago, Monessen led 14-7 in the third, only to see Fort Cherry ground and pound, score 28 unanswered points to win 35-14. Braden Cook scored twice. Matt Sieg ran for one score and threw a pair of touchdown passes, and Ryan Huey closed the scoring with a 6-yard run. In addition to his 210 rushing yards, Sieg also hit 7 of 13 passes for 103, just a week after the cast was removed from his broken throwing hand thumb. That's easy for you to say. Greyhounds and Rangers both 4-0 coming in, though as we talked with the coaches, neither has faced what would be confused with outstanding competition. Monessen's opponents are a combined 1-15 heading into week 4. Fort Cherry's are just 3-13 at this point. Couple of notes for you. Historically, Matt Sieg has rushed for 6,400 plus yards. He's about 1,200 behind Fort Cherry's career leader, Mike Vernillo. Sieg already owns the Rangers' all-time passing record with 4,600 and change. Sieg has scored 115 touchdowns. That's 2 shy of all-time WPIL record holders Tyler Boyd and Lamont Wade. Sieg just 500 yards shy of Lenny Williams' all-time total offense mark of 11,559, and the state record is at least a possibility, Sieg needing about 2,800 more yards to catch Stone Saunders' all-time state record. Just minutes away from kickoff here in week 4. We'll get the ball on the tee for Monessen and Fort Cherry when we come back here on the WJPA Sports Network, presented by CNX Foundation.
This is Mark Bear from Bud Bear Mazda. We have a great selection of new 2025 Mazda CX-50s. We have 1.9% financing on those up to 60 months.
1.9% financing with approved credit for very well qualified customers through Mazda Financial Services. $17.48 per month per $1,000 financed. Tax, title, license, and other fees may apply. Offer ends 9/30/25.
BudBearMazda.com.
The honest dealer, believably different. Bud Bear.
My Dream Field has a scoreboard with a giant TV.
My Dream Field has dugouts for our mascot to dance on.
My Dream Field has lights to play at night. And a duck pond.
CNX is making dream fields come true by donating millions of dollars throughout Appalachia. Nominate your field at cnx.com/dreamfields.
One more peek at 2 county notes. Mentioned a couple of these in our look ahead to tonight's schedule. A list you don't want to be on, current losing streaks in the WPIL. Baldwin at 23 and no relief in sight for the Fighting Highlanders. We have heard talk that Baldwin may consider the independent schedule that has helped Connellsville and Laurel Highlands, or not Laurel Highlands, but Connellsville and Uniontown and Albert Gallatin and Brownsville. Brownsville, though, still struggling despite playing that independent schedule. But Baldwin has lost 23 in a row. McGuffey's at 14 along with Stowe Rock. Charleroi lost 8 in a row. From Greene County, West Green's at 4. Burgettstown, Carmichael's, Mapletown, and Trinity have all lost back-to-back games. Trinity in a situation, if they don't find a way to beat Bethel Park tonight, they're going to be right where they were a year ago. That is 1-4 heading into Big Six action. Now, this is a better team, I think, than last year's Trinity team that made the playoffs, but you do not want to have the committee seed you when you're 1-4 after 5 games.
Yeah, and it feels different. That was a team last year with, I would say the expectations were a lot lower. So I think that in that world, the world of Trinity Athletics and the fan base there's a little bit more disappointment if they can't get that done tonight against Bethel Park than there was last year at that time.
Our referee is Aaron Pritchard, met earlier with the captains and coaches and has gone over things. Monessen won the toss. The Greyhounds will defer their option, and Fort Cherry undoubtedly is going to take the football. Just a little heads up, you want to check this out. Coming up on Saturday, November 8th, you can support Ranger basketball with laughter. It's the 5th annual Fort Cherry Boys Basketball Funny fundraiser. Tickets are available online. Go to slapstickproductions.com. And that is, again, Saturday, November 8th. $30 donation includes those beverages, munchies, and soft drinks, 21 or over. With the auctions and all that stuff. Showtime is 8 o'clock, and best wishes on that fundraising efforts about to take place. We're about to get the ball on the tee here. It has been a whirlwind in the production crew since we got here, and actually, Jack, that whirlwind started for our crew before we ever got here, and yeoman's work, and we certainly appreciate that. Great to have all of you along on WJPA FM in Washington, online WJPA.com, and the YouTube channel bringing you audio and video of all of our regular season broadcasts. Fort Cherry will receive on this brand new one-game-in artificial surface here at Jim Gary Stadium. Still work to be done. The new track. The Rangers haven't had a home track, and boy, what a treat that will be. Adai Fields with the ball teed up. The run up and the kick is very short. It's going to be taken for about the 24. Fumbled, scrambled for the loose ball, and the Hounds are all over it. And the first break of the game belongs to Monessen.
Yeah, that's a huge play for Monessen. Come into this game, after a couple ugly performances, you're the heavy underdog, and go and get the ball in plus territory to start it off after kicking off.
Ball at the Fort Cherry 39-yard line. So the Rangers, or the Greyhounds, kick off and get the ball, and in plus territory. And you heard Wade Brown say they want to chew up the clock, possess the football, direct snap, and a running play. Not any room there whatsoever. Tavion Taylor gets the first carry of the night.
Yeah, there was just not much room. No push up front. Getting in there for Fort Cherry was Tyler Wolf.
One of the things when you have that direct snap, wildcat, or whatever you want to call it, you're at least in better numbers because you got 10 guys to block for one ball carrier. Yeah. Usually when you have a quarterback handing off, he's not going out blocking for anybody. But only a yard gain on the play. 2nd and 9 at the Fort Cherry 38. Snap is bobbled by Taylor. He's in trouble and gobbled up, fumbled the ball, and the Rangers are all over it. Exchange of turnovers. Fort Cherry takes over at the looks to be the 48-yard line. Taylor had to go back and get it, and he corralled it and then just got gobbled up by Archie Shattuck.
Yeah, and if you're Taylor there, honestly, the best move after not handling that snap, you should probably just fall on it there. He picks it up, tries to make a play, and Shattuck was able to punch it out from the backside.
11:08 to play. First quarter, and now Fort Cherry on offense for the first time. Sig from the shotgun hands the ball off. Running play going to the left side. Stops shy of the 50-yard line as Ryan Huey will get credit for the 2 yards to the 50.
And I expect Fort Cherry to just try to grind this out on the ground today. They were able to do that in the second half against Monessen last year, and I think that's going to be the game plan.
I think the other thing is after that exchange of turnovers, they want to try to chew it up a little bit here. Sig takes the snap. He's got the sideline. 30, 25, cuts back inside, runs through an arm tackle into the end zone for the touchdown. 50-yard touchdown run. Senior quarterback Matt Sig.
And that's just the electricity of Matt Sig right there. Just that little rollout run. He's running all the way there, gets some good blocks, and he's able to make a couple guys miss downfield. It was good positioning there for Kyer Payne. He just missed the tackle.
Evan Rogers to hold. Nick Massey for the PAT. 10:31 to play. Opening quarter. Touchdown career number 116. Extra point line drive kick. Got over the rush and between the uprights. 10:31 to play, first quarter. Fort Cherry 7, Monessen nothing. Kickoff on the WJPA Sports Network, presented by CNX Foundation.
Start strong and stay local. CCBC's Washington County College Center gives you the edge to get ahead. High school students can learn to fly before they drive with our Aviation Academy. If helping others is what you do, let us help you. Advance from LPN to RN and open new doors in your healthcare career. Or get ahead in college by earning general education credits. No matter your path, we're here to help you move forward. Learn more at ccbcwashington.com.
At Slovenian Savings and Loan, they understand you want convenience. That's why their mobile banking app allows you to bank from anywhere, anytime. They also know there's no substitute for personal, one-on-one service from someone who cares about you and your family. Founded on honesty, integrity, and trust in 1925, and that will never change. Big enough to serve, small enough to care. Slovenian Savings and Loan on Boone Avenue in Strabane. SlovenianSavingsandLoan.com. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Nick Massey tees the ball up, and the Greyhounds with two men back deep to receive. Michael Hines, Tavian Taylor. Referee Aaron Pritchard has already marked the ball. Massey's kick, line drive off the front wall, scramble for the loose ball. The Greyhounds pick it up away from the big pileup, and Monessen's going to get the ball at about the 40-yard line.
Yeah, that was a hard kick. Hit right off one of the up men for Monessen. Fortunately for Monessen, Fort Cherry, when they went down, kind of punched it away and right into the hands of Ason Bell.
Oh, Monessen's going to take the ball. Now, put it one place. Now they're going to move it. All right, we're going to the 40-yard line. 1st and 10, Monessen. Taylor's handled direct snap both times. Takes this one, runs over the right side. 5-10, and boy, if not for a hand to knock him down, that could have been big yardage. Blake Sweeter got a hand in there to stop the play, but good for a first down.
Yeah, that was really decisive run for Taylor. Just got up inside and used his speed. Interesting formation there is Torrance Taylor also in the backfield there. He's starting offensive lineman, but Monessen will do this, and they'll give him the ball too.
First and 10 at the Fort Cherry 48. High snap, in trouble. There's nowhere to go. Rangers with 5 or 6 guys that got through that protection, and taken down on the loss is Caden Colbeck.
Yeah, another high snap, and Colbeck didn't really have any chance, and especially after that bad snap, he wasn't even going to be able to get close to the line of scrimmage.
Colbeck loses 5 on the carry. Ball at the Monessen 47-yard line. 7-0 Fort Cherry leads. 9:15 to go. We've had plenty happen in this first 3 minutes. Slot man motions. Running play to the right side. It's Colbeck. Hit up high and taken down.
Monessen's going to want to try to get outside with their speed, but we've seen it with this Fort Cherry defense. They're just so disciplined. They're going to rally to the ball. You're going to have better chances trying to keep it inside.
3rd down now and 18 yards to go. The ball back at the 44-yard line. Rangers subbing out. And they bring Shattuck out and Troy Rave in. 3rd and 18. And running play up over the left tackle as Tavian Taylor is hit and knocked backwards. Picks up 2 yards on the play. Now make it 3. Give him 3 out to the 47-yard line, but it'll bring up 4th down and about 15 yards to go. Rudley Destel to punt. This is a short drop. He's about 9 yards back of the line of scrimmage.
Gotta watch a block here.
And the Rangers do not bring other than one guy out on the left wing. The punt is taken. Sig handed off on the end around. Return coming up the near side. It's Evan Rogers. 45, 50, and finally shoved to the boundary. Sig fielded it, handed it back to Rogers, and Rogers made the big run, pushed out at the 35-yard line of Monessen. 7:43 to play, first quarter, 7-0 Fort Cherry, back on the WJPA Sports Network, presented by CNX Foundation.
Friday night lights bring our community together, but too many families in Washington County are being torn apart by opiate addiction. I'm Commissioner Larry Maggi, and I want you to know you're not alone. Help is here. If you or someone you love is struggling, call our confidential helpline today at 724-228-1234. That's 724-228-1234. Together we can fight addiction and build a stronger future for Washington County.
First and 10, Fort Cherry from the 35-yard line. Sig takes it and runs around the left end. He is pushed out of bounds. Now, for some reason, the first down markers have moved. That carry was only 7 yards. They started this possession at the 35. They're at the 28 right now, and it's another first down.
Yeah, I don't know how
the
something
sticks,
like that even happened.
Yeah, the sticks moved, and they shouldn't have, but down marker says first, and Monessen not saying a word about it. So from the 28 now, running play over the left side, it's, I believe, Ryan Huey, the carrier. That would have been a first down now. Well, you go 7 yards and get a first down. Okay. New rule in football. It's early in the season. So Huey's carry gets to, looks to be the 22. So 7 for Sig, 6 for Huey. Play going over the right side from the 22, trying to cut back to the left, and action is stopped. Must have a flag down. It was Sig, the ball carrier. Holding against Fort Cherry. They're going to go back, wipe out the Sig run, go back to the line of scrimmage. So the ball will end up back out at the 32-yard line.
And one thing we've seen, Monessen trying a lot of arm tackles, and you're going to have a tough time bringing down Sieg even if your form's good, and it hasn't been the case for Monessen thus far.
Sidecars both ways, and the one to the left gets it. It's Ryan Huey, pounds forward for about 4, maybe 5.
And if Monessen has any hope of staying in a game like this, you have to be able to get off the field in a situation like third and about 9 or 10 right in here. You have to be able to minimize what will likely be a run call here.
Third down, Sig, high snap. He knocks it down and then just falls on it. How many high snaps are we going to see tonight? It looks like a Monessen player is shaken up and will need attention. It's Javion Jeffrey. 6:11 to play first quarter. Fort Cherry 7, Monessen nothing. Back on the WJPA Sports Network, presented by CNX Foundation.
GG&C drives Fort Cherry. GG&C Bus Company is looking for CDL drivers. Enjoy flexible hours and scheduling and paid training for new drivers. Drug screening and background checks required. For 50 years, GG&C has provided safe, reliable student and public transportation. They're always looking for school bus, van, and charter drivers and student monitors. Equal opportunity employer. Learn more at ggcbus.com or call 724-222-2320.
Imperial Land Corporation is proud to be developing real estate in Washington and Allegheny counties. Over 3,000 acres can accommodate any size development. The nearly 900-acre Fort Cherry Development District along PA 576 is prime commercial real estate minutes from the Pittsburgh Airport and I-79. Visit imperialland.com or call 412-424-0495 for development opportunities. Good luck to the Fort Cherry Rangers from Imperial Land Corporation.
Fourth down, spot out to the 31-yard line, so 4th and 13 for Fort Cherry, and certainly at this point you would expect the Rangers to go for it, and they will indeed do that. Man motions across the set, now resets. Sig hands the ball to Huey, throw down the field, tipped and almost caught. Rogers almost handled the Karam, but the incomplete pass thrown by Ryan Huey, and the ball will go over on downs.
I like the idea there for Fort Cherry. You know, you give it to Huey in a deep situation where a run's still in play, even though it's 4th and long. You know, this is a team that they can get chunks. And Huey had a guy, he just underthrew him.
Yeah, if he doesn't underthrow, Rogers able to run that down in stride and still almost made the catch on the deflection. 5:57 to go, first quarter. Monessen with the ball for the 3rd time tonight already. Taylor tips the snap, corrals it, gets back to the line of scrimmage, maybe the length of the ball forward from there. And he didn't catch that cleanly. Got the right hand on it flat, but couldn't catch it.
Yeah, the snaps just haven't been good. And Monessen has to be more aware of that too. You have to be ready for these inaccurate snaps and have to make sure you stay in front of them.
Now Lebanon leading at Memorial Stadium in Canonsburg 6-0. Here it is 7-0 Fort Cherry in front. Taylor starts left, cuts back to the right when he got just close to the 35-yard line, hit and driven backwards a couple of yards. Should be a gain of just a couple there.
Yeah, Fort Cherry really just blowing it up off the line of scrimmage so far, and good play from the linebackers. Blake Swader coming in to make a play there.
We mentioned that funny fundraiser earlier, and Eugene Briggs walks into the house. 3rd and 7 from the 34. Roll out to the right, little pop pass inside the hash marks, complete across the midfield line. Ball thrown by Colbeck. And Rodney Johnson on the reception, and a Monessen first down.
That's a good play right there. Colbeck just little flick pass to Rodney Johnson, who's on a little stop route, found a soft spot. And Johnson's one of the better players on this Monessen team. Very talented. He's able to make some plays from that tight end spot, and he's been doing it this is his 4th year now.
A gain of 20 and a first down at the Fort Cherry 46. Now flag down from the umpire. Now the linesman joins in as well. False start. Back the Greyhounds up 5 yards and back on their own side of midfield. First penalty against Monessen tonight. When you dig out of a 3rd and 7 hole, the last thing you want to do is take a first down penalty.
Yeah, a bit of a momentum killer.
3:52 to play. High snap. Colbeck tried to run right, got hit once, twice, bobbles it, but hangs on and then lost his hat.
Oh, man. I mean, that was ugly. Another poor snap that Colbeck was barely able to hold on to. I mean, it was just a sea of red jerseys going after him.
The loss back to the 45-yard line. It's a loss of 4 for Colbeck, and he has to go out of the ball game because you got to put your chin strap tighter than that. little confusion as to who was going to take that snap, but running play works forward for about 4 yards. Both backs reached up to grab it. And eventually getting the squeeze on it was Torrance Taylor. And Torrance Taylor, let me give you his numbers, 5'11", 235, senior offensive lineman. Puts the ball out to the 49-yard line.
I mentioned Taylor, he'll get the ball a couple times, and it's always interesting to see it, see a big guy wearing number 52 carrying the ball. It doesn't look natural, but he's a talented guy.
Long time in the huddle, and the play clock going to wind down, and Monessen's going to use a timeout. 2:31, 2:30, clock keeps turning. There we go. 2:29 officially going to be the stoppage. 2:29 to play in the first quarter. 7-0 Fort Cherry leads. Timeout. Back on the WJPA Sports Network, presented by CNX Foundation.
I'm RJ Diaz, your safe money guy. If you're approaching retirement, we need to talk. I offer retirement income planning strategies with lower risk and guaranteed income. Call me, 412-569-4000. And remember, I offer safe money investing with 0 fees. Let's get together for a free no obligation review of your retirement plans. I'm RJ Diaz, your safe money guy. 412-569-4000.
Touchdown, Waynesburg!
Ever wanted to work behind the scenes of a sports broadcast? Waynesburg University's Department of Communication gives you the opportunity to do just that. Our students produce the show, call the action, and tell the story as it happens. Or get involved in the sports information side, taking stats, PA announcing, and delivering the results to a growing sports audience. The Waynesburg University Department of Communication is waiting to hear from you. So what are you waiting for?
For more information, visit waynesburg.edu.
3rd down and 15 for Monessen after the timeout. A couple of other scores. Bethel Park 7-0 up on Trinity. Steel Valley 8-0 lead on Waynesburg. Both first quarter scores. 7-0 here. Fort Cherry with the lead. Matt Sig with a 50-yard touchdown run. 3rd and 15. 5-man front for the Rangers. Drop and roll to the right. Pass play. Ball gets away, and pass to the sideline is deflected and incomplete, intended for Tavian Taylor. Kyer Payne, the thrower, listed as the starting quarterback, and as far as I know, that's his first touch tonight.
Yeah, that's really the first I've seen Payne out there on offense. That time just a rollout, and really only one route over there, and once Fort Cherry snuffed it out, there was no play.
Once again, punt formation for Rudley Destel, and uses that 9-yard drop, now 10, but the Rangers did not press the first time. Low snap handle, a little wobbly kick, goes across the 40 and then kind of bounces to the sideline. Very short kick. Fort Cherry will take over at its own 39-yard line. A little sloppy game all the way around. Even on plays where good things have happened, the start to them has not been good with snaps and those kinds of things.
Yeah, I mean, we got it started right away with the opening kickoff being fumbled by Fort Cherry. 2 plays later, Monessen gave it away. Yeah, it's just been messy from both sides.
Rangers 1st and 10 from their own 39, empty backfield. 5 wide receivers for Matt Sig. Now motion to 4 guys. It was Huey. Sig on the run, up over the 40 to the 41. Gain him just a couple. Good job by the interior of the defense, not paying attention to the eye candy.
Yeah, that's the first time we've seen Monessen able to control Sieg so far on a play that wasn't aborted. But they did a good job keeping him hemmed in, and that's going to be a key, is make Sig try to run through the middle.
2nd and 8, running play over the left side, and just a yard this time for Ryan Huey. Good job by that defensive line for Monessen to get off blocks and get a hold of the ball carrier.
Yeah, this defense, after that opening drive when it's 2 plays and then a score, they've done a better job on these last 2 possessions, at least so far.
3rd down and 7. Two sidecars, two wide receivers this way, one to the top of the set. Matt Sieg in a shotgun set, about 4 yards back of the line of scrimmage. Calls for the snap, hands it off, running play coming this way, 45, 48 and a half. Did he get to the 49? And it looks like the Rangers are going to get the spot and move the sticks.
Wasn't sure if they'd give that to him. It looked like right as Huey was reaching that ball over to pick up that first down, he got stopped, but it was right at it, and it gave him the first.
Huey had just 11 carries coming in. He has 5 already tonight. And this time there's nowhere for Eli Salvini to go. In fact, he's going to lose 1.5 yards.
Yeah, Rodney Johnson and Torrance Taylor both in to make that play. They almost took that handoff for him.
Just a quick note, Matt Sieg has not thrown a pass yet. 25 seconds to go in the quarter. The Rangers do not have to snap the ball before the end of the quarter, but looks like they're going to come to the line of scrimmage with the intention of doing so. Motion to the far side, running play to the far side. Salvini going wide, dragged down and taken down. Nice tackle by Javion Jeffries in the backfield that will end the first quarter. Fort Cherry 7, Monessen nothing after 1. Second quarter on the WJPA Sports Network, presented by CNX Foundation.
We go into individuals' homes and provide non-medical care for mainly senior citizens, but also people with disabilities.
For Sunny Days In-Home Care, John Bennett.
We do stuff like bathing, grooming, meal preparation, take people to doctor's appointments. Someone needs a little bit of assistance to help them stay in their home instead of going into a facility, and we like to come in and be the people that do that for them.
Sunny Days In-Home Care, providing compassionate care for your loved one in the comfort of their home. Find out more, sunnydaysinhomecare.com.
Monarch Student Transportation is proud to support the Fort Cherry Rangers. Monarch's primary goal is safe transportation. With top-of-the-line equipment and the best drivers in the business, Monarch provides the highest quality transportation available, building on a tradition of safety and excellence. Monarch takes great pride in the schools and communities they serve. Monarch Student Transportation is now hiring. Call 888-317-4144 or online at monarchtrans.com.
Fort Cherry was 70 yards rushing in the opening quarter, 70 yards total offense. Did not complete a pass, and Huey, the running back, is the only one to throw one. On the other side, Monessen 1 net yard rushing, 20 yards passing, 21 total offense through the first quarter, but Fort Cherry has the 7-0 lead thanks to Matt Sieg's 50-yard TD scamper. 3rd and 16, the Rangers at their own 43-yard line. Lining up a power set, everybody going to the right. Sieg trying to get around the bend and will. 45-50, Sieg's got the first down or close to it. Where did he step out of bounds? They're going to mark him out. Looks to be about the 43-yard line. That is not going to be the first down. It'll be 4th and about 2 yards to go.
Yeah, he was getting chased from behind by Johnson. Thought maybe Johnson had a shot at him, but Sieg just scampers right past him, and he was able to get close and set up a very manageable 4th and 2.
Needed 16, got 14. Now the power alignment to the left side. That is 3 guys in the backfield next to Sieg, and they all got out in front to throw blocks for him. Rangers need 2 now. This play going to go straight ahead. Sieg hit behind the line of scrimmage and will not get there. The Monessen defense holds at the 42-yard line. A ball will go over on downs.
Yeah, right there, the edges just collapsed in, and Monessen was able to keep Sieg hemmed in. I think if Sieg, from the get-go, had just tried to get up inside, had to hesitate a little bit trying to read it out, and got caught from behind. You know, it was Tommy Hewitt in there.
Javion Jeffries looked to have first contact, and a Monessen player shaken up. And it is indeed Jeffries who had a wrap around the waist of Sieg and would not let him get going forward. So needed 2, got 1. Ball over on downs when we come back. 11:47 to go first half. 7-0 Fort Cherry here on the WJPA Sports Network, presented by CNX Foundation.
You deserve a bank that brings fresh ideas to your business. One that can see you're a cut above and knows you like you know your customers. At Washington Financial, we pride ourselves on preparing personalized solutions. ones that cater to the unique needs of your business. Go with the bank that gets you. Washington Financial Bank.
Jeffries just getting to his feet. And Monessen will have to play this first offensive play without him. But they're happy to have the football back and still only down one play.
Yeah, Monessen on defense has done a good job since that explosive run. That 50-yard touchdown for Sig. They've played a lot tougher, and they've been doing a good job keeping the gaps hemmed up.
Greyhounds 1st and 10 from their own 42-yard line. Short motion, snap. Taylor trying to slip out of the backfield is going to get about a yard, and the Rangers take him a long way back, but don't put him to the ground, saving themselves a unsportsmanlike or personal foul, late hit penalty. Gain of a yard for Tavian Taylor.
Yeah, Monessen on the ground has just really struggled. Taylor, I have that as his 7th carry for just 10 yards.
Second down, actually going to spot him forward to the 44, so we'll give Taylor the 2 yards, make it 2nd and a long 8. Taylor again took the snap, started right, runs back left, crosses midfield, goes down at the Fort Cherry 49, where Monessen's going to have 3rd down and about a yard, maybe 2. They're going to put him back to the 50-yard stripe, so 6 yards on that Taylor carry.
Finally some room for Taylor. Really only the 2nd time where he's had that opening, and yet another rush where Monessen's had some room in the middle. When they've gone up inside, yeah, they've not won every rep, but they've been able to get gains on those runs.
3rd down and 2 right at midfield. Torrance Taylor trying to lead Tavian Taylor through, and the problem is he missed Ryan Huey, who got in the backfield and met him face mask to face mask.
Yeah, Huey blew that up. He got some help too by Archie Shattuck, and that was a big hit. That was a wallop.
Taylor stopped for no gain and is slow to get up. The officials stopped the clock to get aid and assistance to Taylor, and then he pops up and will go off on his own power, but not comfortably, that is for sure. So it will bring up 4th down and 2 for the Greyhounds, trailing Fort Cherry 7-0. Fort Cherry going to send out kind of a mixed punt receive defense team here just in case. Goodley Desto is lined up to punt, and once again at 9 yards back. Fort Cherry has not rushed the punt coverage on either punt so far tonight. And part of that will help you defend should some shenanigans take place. Low snap, Desto fields it on his knee, and he is down right there. Went down on the knee, corralled the ball, and before he got the knee up, he had control, and that will be a bad center pass. Charge that to the team. The loss there, and Fort Cherry gets another break. 9:47 to play first half, and Fort Cherry set up at the Monessen 42-yard line.
Yeah, I don't love the decision right there from Wade Brown to decide to punt there. We saw the last punt go about 10 yards for Monessen, if that, and they've had process problems all day, and you see it happen there on 4th and short.
And Monessen is going to use a timeout. 9:47 to play, first half. Fort Cherry 7, Monessen nothing. Back on the WJPA Sports Network, presented by CNX Foundation.
Hi, this is Mark Baer from Bud Baer Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Listen to this deal. A 2025 Sierra 1500 Elevation for only $399 a month plus tax. And with only $3,150 cash or trade equity.
Stock number 253064, 36-month lease at 10,000 miles per year. Payment includes $3,250 GMC Buick lease loyalty. Must qualify based on Tier 1 credit approval with GMF.
BudBearGM.com.
Bud Bear.
Couple of score updates for you. Wash-High 6, Stowe Rocks nothing. That's at Wash-High Stadium. That is 2A Century Conference. Bethel Park 14, Trinity 7. And in Quad County 6A action, Norwin 7, North Allegheny nothing. think North Allegheny's won like more than a dozen straight times against Norman. After the timeout, 1st and 10, Fort Cherry. Sig fakes the toss and runs himself inside the 30 and down to about the 27-yard line. First down.
Good play design, a fake toss to the left, but all the blocking got out in front to the right. They pulled over, that's A.J. Woodchuck, and he was able to pave a lane, and that's all you need to do for Matt Sig.
The ball is going to be at the 28, so 14 yards for Sig. 7 carries for 84. Running play coming around the left side. This time it's Salvini. Tripped up, goes inside the 25. And it'd be down at about the 23. 5 yards on that Eli Salvini run. 5'10", 180-pound junior. Salvini's 3rd carry, picks up 5. Now the backs shift to the right side, 2nd and 5. Sig rolls to the right, trying to stay on Huey's hip, cuts inside the 20, steps out of bounds inside the 15-yard line.
Those roll runs to the right, those are such a weapon for Fort Cherry because it gets Sig out in space to be able to try to make tacklers miss. If it's well blocked like that one was, there's no one close to him. But then you can also run some counters off of that. We saw that all the time last year. They would run him out right and pop one of those receivers up over top.
And 9 yards on that carry. Ball to the Monessen 14 where it's 1st and 10. Ionosco beside Sig, running play to Huey. Huey bounces it outside, gets inside the 10, and will go down at about the 9. Looks to be about a 5-yard gain. Trying to see the 2 feet of the wingman there. And they will put it at the 9.
Another good run from Huey. We've seen him kind of have to do the tough stuff. And there he was able to battle through a couple yards after contact.
2nd and 5 at the 9. Back set to the left now of Sig. Everybody looks to the sideline. Signals flashing away. Sig walks up behind the O-line, communicates there, and calls for the snap. Sig will keep it himself, trying to run left, and blockers aplenty to the end zone. Touchdown.
That was complete and utter domination in blocking right there for Fort Cherry. Rolled Sig out to the left, and there was no white jersey ever close to tackling him. Getting out in front, there was Huey. He took his man almost all the way through the end zone without much problem.
Matt Sig's touchdown run there ties for the all-time WPIL record, 117 scores, tying Tyler Boyd and Lamont Wade. Extra point attempt for Nick Massey. Snap and hold, plenty of leg this time, beats the rush, and the kick is good. 7:55 to go. First half, Fort Cherry 14, Monessen nothing. Kickoff on the WJPA Sports Network, presented by CNX Foundation.
My dream field has a scoreboard with a giant TV.
My dream field has dugouts for our mascot to dance on.
My dream field has lights to play at night. And a duck pond.
CNX is making dream fields come true by donating millions of dollars throughout Appalachia. Nominate your field at cnx.com/dreamfields.
Start strong and stay local. CCBC's Washington County College Center gives you the edge to get ahead. High school students can learn to fly before they drive with our Aviation Academy. If helping others is what you do, let us help you. Advance from LPN to RN and open new doors in your healthcare career. Or get ahead in college by earning general education credits. No matter your path, we're here to help you move forward. Learn more at ccbcwashington.com.
Rangers go 42 yards in 5 plays, all on the ground. Sig, Salvini, Sig, Huey, Sig. Touchdown number 117 all time. Ties for the WPIL record. And now Fort Cherry set to kick off. A line drive the last time they kicked off. hit the player in the front wall and then caromed around. This kick will go back deep to the 10-yard line and now flip it to the far side. Tavian Taylor trying to find somewhere to go. Michael Hines fielded that. He flipped it to Taylor, and Taylor's going to end up stopped shy of the 20-yard line.
Monessen needs to be able to at least move the chains a couple times here, or else they're in a bad way. Deep in your own territory.
Yeah, this is their worst starting field position of the night, their own 17-yard line.
They've had trouble moving the ball. 20-yard pass was the Greyhounds' most successful play. Other than that, just only one other gain of more than 10 yards.
2 first downs on the night for Monessen, now down 2 touchdowns. Handoff and a running play. That time, Kyer Payne, and clock whistled to stop. That has to be a flag down on the far side. Get an indication here of a illegal procedure is the call against Monessen. And that was not whistled dead as a dead ball, so it had to be a alignment problem. So the 5-yard penalty will take the ball back to the 12-yard line. The same signal, illegal procedure, also described as false start. This one, the play was allowed to go on, so it was not movement, and was not signaled as illegal motion, which would be ineligible in motion, say, toward the line of scrimmage. So it had to be an alignment penalty. 1st and 15, quarterback, and again the handoff and the carry to about the 16-yard line, and another flag down.
Yeah, same thing as last time, right at the snap. That's another, same thing.
Same penalty. Oh, and the down marker moved once already. And I think the Rangers are going to take the play and let the result of the play put the ball out to the 14-yard line, so a gain of 2. So 2nd and 13 from the 14-yard line. Payne, the quarterback, up under center, hands the ball off, bounce play, trying to go wide, and there is no opportunity to do that. Running play only back to the line of scrimmage for Rodney Johnson. Back-to-back Johnson carries really get very, very little.
Yeah, just another play where Fort Cherry just had it hemmed in. Johnson tried to get outside. It looked like there was an opening for a second, but this Ranger defense, they're just swarming to the ball. All 11 helmets on the field are heading towards that football like missiles.
Johnson 2 on the first carry and -1 on that play. And now 3rd and about 14. High snap, going to find its way to the end zone. Scramble for the loose ball, and the Greyhounds pick it up and going to be tackled in the end zone, I believe, or did the ball come loose? It is a fumble in the end zone and a touchdown for Fort Cherry. Johnson went back and got or Payne went back maybe, and we'll get a look here on the replay. The snap was to Payne, just went sailing over his right shoulder. Johnson and Payne go back. Payne picked it up, hit in the end zone twice, and the second guy, Janosko, knocked it loose.
That was Blake Swader who fell on it and got the touchdown.
Indeed, so Janosko causes the fumble, and with that, Fort Cherry to attempt the PAT, Nick Massey to kick it. We talked right from the get-go on the bad position to start that set that Monessen needed to move the football, and they lined up illegally a couple of times. Nick Massey's extra point kick up and good. 6:05 to go. First half, Monessen in a big hole now. It's Fort Cherry 21, Monessen nothing on the WJPA Sports Network, presented by CNX Foundation.
Slovenian Savings and Loan is here for your life, your future, and your dreams. While life's pace seems to get faster and faster, Slovenian Savings and Loan still stands by its traditional values of honesty, integrity, and building personal relationships. Enjoy all modern conveniences to make banking easy, combined with a down-to-earth, face-to-face way of doing business. Slovenian Savings and Loan on Boone Avenue in Strabane. Big enough to serve, small enough to care. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Friday night lights bring our community together, but too many families in Washington County are being torn apart by opioid addiction. I'm Commissioner Electra Janis, and I want you to know you're not alone. Help is here. If you or someone you love is struggling, call our confidential helpline today at 724-228-1234. That's 724-228-1234. Together, we can fight addiction and build a stronger future for Washington County.
Nick Massey to kick off halfway through the second quarter. Fort Cherry's put a little distance. You'll remember it was 7-0 at the end of one, and Monessen had stopped the Rangers early in the second on downs and took over at their own 42, but it has been a house of horrors since then for the Greyhounds. Massey on the run-up, and he'll kick this one deep, and it'll be fielded at about the 13, running up the hash, now into the middle of the field, spun around and taken down is Caden Colbeck. Colbeck had to go over to the numbers to field that kick and then kind of wove his way up through traffic and got grabbed around the waist and taken down at the 26-yard line. And one of the things that Wade Brown told us in pregame, that they wanted to try to possess the football, and this would probably be a good time to enact that desire.
Yeah, Monessen has actually had the ball more than Fort Cherry, but it's mainly been because Fort Cherry's actually moved it and they've been able to score. Monessen's just, they're using each down in these sets of chains because they're usually not converting on third downs and such.
Tavian Taylor to take the direct snap and a whistle before the ball was snapped, and the play clock had gone to 0. Delay of game against Monessen.
That's a bad penalty to have coming right off of a change of possession. The clock stopped. You just have to be ready to get that ball and then get that play in time.
Bethel Park and Trinity tied at 14 in the second. McKeesport leading Upper St. Clair 7-3. Washington 14-0 up on Stowe Rocks. First and 15 for the Greyhounds. Tavian Taylor actually ran into his own backfield mate and couldn't get out of that and get swallowed up.
Yeah, getting in there was Christian Janoska.
And I think Shattuck had a hand on that as well. And Shattuck came from the backside to get maybe an assist.
Another penalty against Monessen. They're going to decline it, though, as Fort Cherry did on the last possession.
And again, it was not false start. It was procedure, which is an alignment penalty. And really the difference is a false start by an O-lineman or wide receiver on the line of scrimmage blows the play dead. You can't, there is no choice at that point. But the same signal, illegal procedure, is that you didn't have enough guys on the line of scrimmage, perhaps. Second down and about 17. Running play coming around the right side and up just over the 20-yard line on the carry, but the Rangers just swarming in to get the play stopped, and the running back again loses a helmet, and Colbeck's going to have to go off because his helmet came off.
Yeah, that's the second time that's happened to Colbeck. This Ranger defense has not only been swarming, they've been hitting hard.
Colbeck 3 yards on that play, but on second down and 17, the Rangers will allow 3 all night long. 5:05 to go second quarter. Fort Cherry up 21-0 on Monessen. Payne, quarterback, back in, and now looks like Monessen's going to use their third and final first half timeout. 4:57 second quarter. Monessen Fort Cherry 21, Monessen nothing. Back on the WJPA Sports Network, presented by CNX Foundation.
GG&C drives Fort Cherry. GG&C Bus Company is looking for CDL drivers. Enjoy flexible hours and scheduling and paid training for new drivers. Drug screening and background checks required. For 50 years, GG&C has provided safe, reliable student and public transportation. They're always looking for school bus, van, and charter drivers and student monitors. Equal opportunity employer. Learn more at ggcbus.com or call 724-222-2320.
Imperial Land Corporation is proud to be developing real estate in Washington and Allegheny counties. Over 3,000 acres can accommodate any size development. The nearly 900-acre Fort Cherry Development District along PA 576 is prime commercial real estate minutes from the Pittsburgh Airport and I-79. Visit imperialland.com or call 412-424-0495 for development opportunities. Good luck to the Fort Cherry Rangers from Imperial Land Corporation.
Kyer Payne in the shotgun, quarterback for the Greyhounds. 3rd down and 14. Hounds shy of their own 25-yard line. Payne gets the snap. It's off his hand. Rolls back inside the 10. He's in trouble, and he's going to be taken down. Going to be a sack back at the about the 5-yard line thereabouts. He did end up being tackled in the end zone, but forward progress clearly stopped.
And of all the snaps that have been poor in this game for Monessen, that one actually looked like Payne should have been able to grab it, and instead he isn't able to handle it cleanly, and it turns into another situation where on this punt, it's not a situation you want to be in if you're Monessen.
Yeah, 4th and about 32 yards to go, back at your own 4-yard line. 18-yard loss, but Payne did get back to the football. Destined to punt, gets snap, and just got the kick away. That time the Rangers pressured it. Kick will bound out over the 40-yard line. So all told, get a good bounce out of that, but Fort Cherry almost blocked the punt.
Yeah, that's the right move for Fort Cherry to go after that.
Yeah, leading 21-0, what do you have to lose? You run into him, okay, you give up the penalty, and actually may have gotten across too far. 4:05 to play, second quarter. Fort Cherry with a 21-0 lead and the ball in hand at the Monessen 42-yard line. And this is where Fort Cherry took over 2 possessions back that led to the Sig 9-yard touchdown run. 1st and 10, Sig fakes the toss, runs right, gets inside the 40 and goes down at about the 38, run of about 4.
Yeah, and a score here for Fort Cherry makes this an unmanageable score. That looks like a painful injury to Rodney Johnson.
Yeah, Johnson down right at the spot of the tackle, and so we'll take a timeout as well. 3:50 to play, first half, 21-0 Fort Cherry in the lead. Back on the WJPA Sports Network, presented by CNX Foundation.
I'm RJ Diaz, your safe money guy. If you're approaching retirement, we need to talk. I offer retirement income planning strategies with lower risk and guaranteed income. Call me, 412-569-4000. And remember, I offer safe money investing with 0 fees. Let's get together for a free no obligation review of your retirement plans. I'm RJ Diaz, your safe money guy. 412-569-4000.
Touchdown, Waynesburg!
Ever wanted to work behind the scenes of a sports broadcast? Waynesburg University's Department of Communication gives you the opportunity to do just that. Our students produce the show, call the action, and tell the story as it happens. Or get involved in the sports information side, taking stats, PA announcing, and delivering the results to a growing sports audience. The Waynesburg University Department of Communication is waiting to hear from you. So what are you waiting for?
For more information, visit waynesburg.edu.
Our apologies, Matt Sig, after the Rodney Johnson got up quickly, and man, he hustled off the field there when he got up, and then Rangers get to the line. Matt Sig runs for 10 yards to the Monessen 28. 1st and 10 for Fort Cherry. Sig hands it off. It's Ryan Huey, finds a seam and right up toward the hash mark, or the goal post and into the end zone.
Huey goes up the middle, really untouched. Well blocked inside. We'll see it here on replay. They pull across the formation. That was Woodquich, and once he pulled, those backers had already bitten inside, and Huey got past him, and he was gone.
28-yard touchdown run for Ryan Huey, 5'9", 175-pound junior. Nick Massey, PAT attempt out of the hold of Evan Rogers. Pressure right side, and Massey rushes the kick and pulls it left. No good. For Cherry, 27. Monessen, nothing. Kickoff on the WJPA Sports Network, presented by CNX Foundation.
Our motto at Sunny Days is put our clients and our caregivers first.
For Sunny Days in-home care, John Bennett.
We care about people, and we want people to have better lives because we're involved with them. We'd love for you to go and check out our website, fill out an application, and we can talk to you more. And we really like to have good people, and the big thing we're looking for is if you're a caring and compassionate person. I mean, that's our top quality.
Sunny Days caregivers make a difference in people's lives. Find out how you can join the team. Log on sunnydaysinhomecare.com.
6A Quad County score at the half now. Mount Lebanon 6, Cannon McMillan nothing. Thank you, Jacob Knisner. Yeoman's work handling the AM side tonight. We'll have the AM side for us tomorrow when you and I are at Hill Memorial Stadium in Burgettstown. Blue Devils homecoming. When we switch things up in our pregame tonight, we're going to have a little different pregame feel tomorrow as well. We're going to chat with Burgettstown Mayor Luke Snatchko about homecoming celebrations in small towns in Washington County. 27-0. Scored not to that full margin because of the missed extra point. Deep kick taken back at the 9-yard line. Return far side. On the run back, it's Colbeck. And as Colbeck gets to almost the 20, is taken down and then sent way backwards in a little roll action there by Colbeck. He ended up back at the 5-yard line, but going to get progress out to about the 20 on the return. Get a look on the replay there. First hands on him by Tyler Wolf. And actually the ball came out, but again, forward progress well stopped before that. Monessen I have with 2 first half first downs, just under 3 minutes remaining in our opening half here. 27-0 host Rangers with the lead. Javion Jeffries wide to the near side. Quarterback Kyer Payne calls for the snap, rolls near side. Check that, it's it's Colbeck that took the direct snap. And he'll get over the 20, maybe the 22, gain of about 2. And I think Monessen wants to take as much time off this first half clock as they can, but to run it out, they'd need to get a first down.
Yeah, I'm sure that's really priority number 1 here. If you can get a big play out of it, I'm sure that's great. But right now, I think Wade Brown just wants to get his team off the field with no further damage.
Minus 26 yards rushing in the first half for Monessen. Second down, we'll call it 8 from the 22. Jump pass down the middle. Ball is caught. And running out of a tackle, out across the 40, 45. Good job there by Rodney Johnson, a little jump pass. It's twice tonight that big gainers for Monessen. He sat in the at the line of scrimmage a long time, rolled to the right, and Colbeck then just jumps and gives it off, but Rangers not solid on the tackle, so the ball out to the 47-yard line.
Yeah, they got Huey to jump on the play and run up towards the line of scrimmage, and that's who they popped it right over, as Johnson, and was able to make something happen after the catch.
Colbeck 2 for 2 for 45 passing yards. Now he'll roll and set the ball down the near side. Ball is a little underthrown, tipped, and the receiver diving, trying to get to it. Javion Jeffries can't get to it. Incomplete pass.
Yeah, a little bit underthrown, and it was not a well-advised throw either. Jeffries was well covered.
I'm a fan of the play, though, as much as they've run and tried to, drawn everybody in. But the Rangers defensed it well because they didn't all get sucked in on that.
Yep.
I like the play. 92 seconds remaining in the half. 2nd down and 10. That's the downside of that long incomplete pass. Colbeck jump pass again. It's underthrown and intercepted. With the pick this time, it's Tyler Wolf. And he went to the well once too often. I want to see if that ball was maybe tipped on the throw as well. And Colbeck did that jump pass. I'm just going to see if, in fact, a hand, well, he couldn't bring his arm all the way through. Evan Rogers got a hand on the arm. I don't know that he got the ball, but easy interception.
Yeah, Colbeck definitely underthrew that compared to where he wanted to go with it. That's a big blow. Is now Fort Cherry in plus territory with 3 timeouts to operate as well as 83 seconds on the clock.
This is third in the last 4 times the Rangers got the ball at the 41, 42-yard line. Matt Sig keeps it himself forward for 4 yards to the 37. Clock continues to turn. 120 yards on a dozen carries for Sig and 2 rushing touchdowns. Second down and 6. This time Sig on the keeper and gets inside the 35. Spotted down at the 33. 4 yards on back-to-back carries, and now 45 seconds to go. Rangers at the line, trying to go a little quicker here. Split ends, single ones each way. Sig hands the ball off. Patient run, good for a first down. Got inside the 30-yard line and moves the sticks.
Cherry using a timeout here.
Rangers will stop the clock. And I get that. See that play again, Scott? Can we see another play there? We'll keep it here for now. Just wanted to see what we. It is Huey. Thank you. And good job by Huey. Really patient run to get to the 27. Picked up 6. And as Jack indicated, the timeout for Fort Cherry there first. Still 28 seconds to play. One of the opportunities here for the coaching staff to work that, 2-minute situation. They have kept the ball on the ground, but still have 28 seconds and 2 timeouts.
Yeah, and that's not a bad situation here. You have multiple. I mean, you have 5-6 plays if you want to. A couple timeouts. Honestly, I like how Fort Cherry's handled this. You run the clock down so that if you do score, likely takes you right down to the end of the half.
Matt Sig has not thrown a pass tonight. Takes the snap, rolls to his left, and now Sig got behind the coverage. Inside the 10, the 5, and Matt Sig into the end zone is the all-time touchdown scoring leader in the history of the WPIL.
What a moment here at Fort Cherry. Well-blocked play once again where Sig just able to get up inside and run through a couple Greyhound defenders at the end. What a moment, what a piece of history right here tonight at Fort Cherry.
August 26, 2022. Matt Sig hooked up with Cook on a 43-yard touchdown pass to Cornally for a 39-yard touchdown pass, ran for a couple of scores, and then a 50-yarder to Cook. 5 touchdowns on his debut night. He's got 3 here in the first half tonight and sets a new WPIL all-time record with that 27-yard run. Nick Massey boots the extra point home. With 19 seconds to play in this first half, it's Fort Cherry 34, Monessen nothing. Kickoff on the WJPA Sports Network, presented by CNX Foundation.
Monarch Student Transportation is proud to support the Fort Cherry Rangers. Monarch's primary goal is safe transportation. With top-of-the-line equipment and the best drivers in the business, Monarch provides the highest quality transportation available, building on a tradition of safety and excellence. Monarch takes great pride in the schools and communities they serve.
Monarch Student Transportation is now hiring. Call 888-317-4144 or online at monarchtrans.com.
The 3 touchdowns tonight for Matt Sieg gives him 174 combined touchdowns, rushing, passing, and returns. That's now 177, scoring himself 118 of those 6-point markers. That's a career.
Yeah, it's been quite a career for Matt Sieg here at Fort Cherry. I mean, you mentioned the 5 touchdowns in his debut. It's been that basically every week over 4 years.
Kicked off and out of would-be tackles, and boy, that just gets you hit a couple of more times. Not that I think the return man shouldn't do what he did, but that's just going to get you hit a couple of more times. And Monessen will take over. That kick fielded at the 14-yard line, and on the run back, it's Michael Hines. Got hit, got off of that, got spun around. Somebody else got hit. Tavion Taylor got hit. He didn't even have the ball. Just 12 seconds remaining in our first half, and the Greyhounds, my guess is, will be looking to just get it to the locker room.
You would assume so. You would definitely assume that Monessen's just going to try to.
And they are in
losses.
kneel down formation, and they will take it to the locker room at the half. An ugly start for both teams. We'll talk about that. But a beautiful finish to the half, and Fort Cherry with Matt Sieg leading the way with his 3 rushing touchdowns tonight. The all-time WPIL touchdown leader in a 100-plus year history. Nobody has scored more touchdowns now than Fort Cherry senior quarterback Matt Sieg. 34-0, Rangers lead the Greyhounds at the break. We're back on the WJPA Sports Network, presented by CNX Foundation.
You deserve a bank that lifts up your business, that shares your spirits and your taste for success. At Washington Financial, we pride ourselves on crafting solutions that are as one of a kind as your business is. Go with the bank that gets you. Washington Financial Bank.
This is Mark Baer from Bud Bear Mazda. We have a great selection of new 2025 Mazda CX-50s. We have 1.9% financing on those up to 60 months.
1.9% financing with approved credit for very well qualified customers through Mazda Financial Services. $17.48 per month per $1,000 financed. Tax, title, license, and other fees may apply. Offer ends 9/30/25.
BudBearMazda.com.
The honest dealer, believably different. Bud Bear.
It's 34-0 Fort Cherry at the half. Let's go back and tell you how this game started. Monessen won the toss, deferred their option. Fort Cherry elected to receive the ball, no surprise there. And a very short kick mishandled by the Rangers, recovered by Monessen. 2 plays later, ball on the ground. Tavion Taylor didn't well handle a high snap, got it under control, and then kept trying to do stuff and ended up losing the football. And Fort Cherry took over at its own 48-yard line. 2 plays later, Matt Sieg goes 50 yards for the first of his 3 first-half touchdowns. Massey's extra point made it 7-0 Fort Cherry, 10:20 to play in the opening quarter. Kind of got into a slog there. Ball punted away a couple of times. The Rangers throw an option pass on 4th down. Monessen with a punt. Fort Cherry again gave it up on downs. Back-to-back possessions. A bad center pass, though, for Monessen gave Fort Cherry the ball at the Monessen 42-yard line. 5 plays later, Sieg scores from 9 yards out. His second touchdown ties the WPIL all-time record. Massey's extra point made it 14-0. Then Monessen takes over after the kickoff. They tried a little, one guy fielded it, he flipped it back to another guy, and they ended up at the 17. Penalty for alignment issue, 2-yard gain, a 1-yard loss, and then on 4th down from their own 13. Bad center pass, picked up in the end zone. I'm sorry, on 3rd down, a bad center pass. Ball went to near the back of the end zone. It was picked up there. Ball then run in the end zone, fumble caused, and then Sweeter with the recovery for the touchdown. Massey's kick made it 21-0, 6:05 to go in the second quarter. Monessen able to keep the ball, but again, penalty to start. They come out after the kickoff return and take a delay of game penalty, a 2-yard loss, and then they punt the ball away, and the ball on the snap off of Payne's hands and lost 18 yards back to the 4. They did get the punt away out of the end zone, barely, and Fort Cherry took over at the 42. 3 plays later, Ryan Huey scores from 28 yards out. But the extra point was wide to the left. Good pressure by the Greyhounds, and Massey yanked it and pulled it wide left to leave us at a 27-0 count. Greyhounds did get a first down at Colbeck to Johnson pop pass, got the ball out to the 47, but after an incomplete pass, they tried it again. Colbeck's arm was being hit, not the ball, but the arm was being hit, and the interception by Tyler Wolf. And Fort Cherry took over at the 41. A couple of Sig runs, a Huey run for 6 and a first down, and Sig sprinted home from the 27-yard line. An extra point made it 34-0 with that TD run. Matt Sig becomes the WPIL's all-time touchdown scoring leader, passing Tyler Boyd and Lamont Wade, both of Clairton, to sit atop that statistical category, and that's not the only category he's going to be on top of, barring injury and barring some significant upset early in the WPIL playoffs. Matt Sig going to set a few more records before his senior season is over. And speaking of which, we understand that Sig is going to graduate early in January and go to Penn State early, so he's going to enroll there. And James Franklin and the Nittany Lions are getting a dandy, as Wade Brown said in our pregame interview. Jack, your overall thoughts on our first half?
Yeah, I mean, they're just, that obviously the Sig record-breaking rush is the highlights. He was just dominant as usual in that first half. But really, the whole Ranger squad was dominant, aside from a couple messed up plays. The opening kickoff fumbled. It really, past that point, though, Fort Cherry was able to clean it up defensively. The Rangers have done a great job hemming in everything Monessen's tried. The tackling has been phenomenal. And then on offense, the blocking up front for Fort Cherry is just completely dominated Monessen.
Monessen, I have it minus 26 yards rushing in the first half, 19 yards total offense, and that's because of the 2 pop passes, good for a total of 45 yards. On the other side, Fort Cherry has only thrown 1 pass, and that was the Huey option pass on 4th down. Matt Sig has not put the ball in the air, and the Rangers have 210 yards rushing, 151 on 14 Matt Sig first half carries. Following the ball game, we'll recognize our player of the game. That's brought to you by Washington County College Center, operated by Community College of Beaver County. Going to take a timeout, then we're going to get you a news update, and then the PAC football report. We don't have any PAC action this week, but there's plenty across the conference. This is W&J's bye week, but Joe Ondirko will be along to update us on what all's happening football-wise in the President's Athletic Conference. At the half here at Jim Gary Stadium, Fort Cherry 34, Monessen nothing. News coming your way in just a moment here on the WJPA Sports Network, presented by CNX Foundation.
My dream field has a scoreboard with a giant TV.
My dream field has dugouts for our mascot to dance on.
My dream field has lights to play at night. and a duck pond.
CNX is making dream fields come true by donating millions of dollars throughout Appalachia. Nominate your field at cnx.com/dreamfields.
Good evening. I'm Lynn Manning with your WJPA halftime report. We're at 80 degrees right now here in Washington. We'll see some patchy fog moving in overnight. Temperatures dropping off into the upper 50s. But tomorrow and then right through Monday, we're going to see some sunshine. Maybe, just maybe, on Monday, a slight chance of a few rain showers. We'll take a look at that forecast coming up. Washington County Controller Heather Shetler is raising an alarm over what she says is the county's finance department circumventing oversight, which has resulted in a $130,000+ loss of money to hackers.
We were alerted that the finance department was making payments to vendors. Obviously, this is concerning since the controller's office is the office that makes the payments to the vendors. So we looked into it, and I was informed that $138,000 was sent to a vendor, but instead of it going to the vendor, it went to hackers.
Shetler says this is concerning because the finance department is required, she says, by law to have the controller's office take a look at any payments made before they're actually made. Now, she is calling for immediate corrective action to ensure this type of breach doesn't happen again. We also reached out to Washington County Commission Chairman Nick Sherman for his comments on the matter. He says that he believes the county did nothing wrong, but he did not address the issue of whether it was unlawful for the finance department to make that payment. He calls the whole thing a political ploy.
This might be another incident of a candidate running for office trying to make some kind of political hay at the expense of the county. But, again, what I know right now is that, there was payment to a vendor. The vendor reported to us that they had a cyber incident and to let us know. So that's the information I have as of now.
Now, Shetler says stronger safeguards and adherence to the established financial review process are critical to restoring public trust and protecting taxpayer resources. The sale of the Charleroi glass plant that was pending to a German glassmaker, Sediver, has now been called off. According to officials, they say that it's due in part that because the criteria was not met. That's the decision of the Federal Trade Commission. Republican Senator Camera Bartolotta has been working with Charleroi officials and others since that Anchor Hocking plant closed down a few months ago, and she says she hopes that the issue isn't dead yet.
I think perhaps we're in a holding pattern, but I do know it's a legal matter. But I'm just trying to be vocal and loud and just say, get the message to the FTC. Look, we could manufacture that particular glass for transmission lines right in Charleroi. There's a company that wants to do it immediately. Whatever we can do to make it happen, that's what we need to do.
Now, the report that was issued says Anchor Hocking is the subject of an FTC investigation regarding its acquisition of certain former Corel Brands assets, including the Charleroi facility. Some 300 workers lost their job when that plant shut down. Two men had their preliminary hearings for an April 28th shooting that occurred in Washington on West Walnut Street near the John F. Kennedy Catholic School. It left one man dead. WJPA's Joe Jasek has details.
31-year-old Trayvon McCrary of Washington and 24-year-old William Howell of Pittsburgh had a joint hearing. Both men are facing homicide charges in the shooting that left 28-year-old Nostalgia Wilkerson dead. The brunt of the testimony came from Sydney Vaughn, who was a close friend of McCrary. She said on the day of the shooting, she and McCrary left her home at 103 West Walnut Street and took her car to Pittsburgh to run an errand. That errand was to pick up William Howell at his Pittsburgh home. 1 hour after returning home, Vaughn heard but did not see 5 gunshots in front of her home. Vaughn received a video phone call from McCrary, and she said McCrary told her, "I had to do what I had to do." Police testimony described the investigation of a car with bullet holes and other corroborating evidence collected at the scene. In addition to the homicide charge, McCrary faces 2 firearms charges. Howell, who represented himself at the hearing, faces homicide and conspiracy homicide charges. Their cases were held for court. They will be arraigned next month. For WJPA News, I'm Joe Jasek.
An orchard in Virginia has picked itself up a Guinness World Record without even trying, and they think that is just peachy. Their record is for the heaviest peach. Officials with the Chile's peach orchard said that the weather was great. They weren't trying to grow a ginormous peach, but when they went to pick them, there it was. It weighed in at 1.83 pounds, the world's heaviest peach. On Wall Street, the Dow closed up 172 points, the S&P up 32, and the Nasdaq up 160. In sports, the Pirates playing their final series of the season at PNC Park tonight. They're hosting Oakland, and the Steelers getting ready for their game in Foxborough on Sunday against the Patriots. We'll have the game on 1450 a.m. starting at noon. And your forecast for the rest of this evening, some patchy fog, a low of 58. That'll burn away tomorrow morning, more sunshine, and a high of 86. Right now, 80 degrees at WJPA.
Welcome to the PAC Football Report for September 20th, 2025. I'm Joe Onderco. This week we will take a look back at last week's gridiron contests in the President's Athletic Conference, while also previewing the opening of conference play in Week 3 this Saturday. The highlight game of the weekend between nationally ranked powers saw number 2 ranked Mount Union overcome an early deficit to roll to a 49-14 victory at number 15 Grove City. PAC teams posting non-league wins in Week 2 included Hiram, which posted a 58-21 victory over Oberlin in their home debut since rejoining the PAC, and Westminster, which recorded an impressive 27-7 road win over Franklin and Marshall in Lancaster. Other league results included Allegheny being edged 40-38 at Juniata, Waynesburg falling 52-19 at Dickinson, W&J dropping a 38-31 road decision at Hampton-Sydney, Wabash outlasting Case Western Reserve 38-28 in a lightning-delayed contest, Worcester doubling up St. Vincent 28-14, Geneva suffering a heartbreaking 29-28 home loss to Shenandoah, Bethany losing 50-7 at Kalamazoo, and Teal suffering a 76-0 shutout at Adrian. PAC Player of the Week laurels in Week 3 on offense went to Hiram Junior quarterback Sean Tejeda with 319 passing yards and 5 TDs versus Oberlin. Defensive recognition went to Westminster senior linebacker Dylan Sleva with 13 tackles and an interception at F&M. And special teams honors went to Westminster sophomore kicker Andrew Carana, who made all 5 of his kicks, including 2 field goals for the Titans. Newcomer of the week was Geneva freshman DB Christian Hunter with 10 tackles and a pass breakup versus Shenandoah. Week 3 marks the start of league play in the PAC with 4 conference contests, including 3 under the lights. Highlighting the slate is a 7 p.m. kickoff between 1-1 Westminster and 0-2 Case Western Reserve at DeSanto Field in Cleveland. The Spartans lead the all-time series with the Titans 5-3, including a 3-1 mark in Cleveland. But last year, a late interception clinched a 17-14 home win for Westminster over Case in New Wilmington. Veteran Spartan head coach Greg Debelak talks about the deep respect the programs have for each other.
Yeah, I think they are 2 really good programs, evenly matched. I think both staffs are excellent, and we know each other well. So I think at Chess Mass is a good comparison, and film study is critical, and trying to figure out what each other's doing.
The lone daytime contest takes place at Wiley Stadium in Waynesburg, as the 0-2 Yellow Jackets host 1-1 Hiram in the Terriers' first conference game since rejoining the PAC this season at 1 p.m. It's the first ever gridiron meeting between the programs. 4th-year Waynesburg head coach Cornelius Coleman talks about how facing a pair of high-level non-conference foes was meant to prepare the Jackets for league play this season.
And the PAC conference is one of the top Division III conferences in the country. And unless you are prepared to do battle in this conference week in and week out, I feel as though you are doing yourself and your program a disjustice.
2 teams searching for their first win meet in Meadville Saturday night, as 0-2 Allegheny hosts 0-2 Teal at Frank Fuhrer Stadium at 7 p.m. The all-time series between the local foes dates back to the first meeting in 1893, with the Gators holding a 43-35-6 all-time advantage against the Tomcats. Last year, Teal recorded a 21-7 home win over Allegheny in Greenville, snapping a 4-game losing skid against the Gators. Third-year Allegheny head coach Braden Lair talks about the importance of starting league play with a win Saturday night.
I think more than anything, it's Teal. It's rivalry week, right? It's the school that's closest to us in proximity. It's one that carries a lot of weight for our players throughout the offseason. So it's a massive, massive week. This is one that we desperately want, and we're going to work our tail off to try to come out and get it done.
Finally, 1-1 St. Vincent travels to Beaver Falls to face 0-2 Geneva at Reeves Field with a 7 p.m. kickoff. The Golden Tornadoes lead the all-time series with the Bearcats 17-13-1, including a 16-13 win in Latrobe a year ago. Bethany, Grove City, and W&J all have the weekend off. That's all for this edition of the PAC Football Report. Log on to the conference website at www.pacathletics.org all season long for the latest news, scores, statistics, and other league information. You can also follow us on social media via X, Facebook, and Instagram. Links are available at the PAC website. I'm Joe Onderco. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you at the stadium.
Welcome back to Jim Gary Stadium, where we're back on the high school level. Number of scores for you. Our score is 34-0. Fort Cherry leading Monessen at the moment. Great to have you along here tonight. I'm Bob Gregg. Jack Sacco is with me. Scott Donnelly and Jason Tennant with the scramble action there in the pregame and the pregame, and got all that going. Brett Gambita, Joey Cipoletti upstairs with the bird's eye view of the game, bringing that home to you as well. Those of you joining us on the on our website wjpa.com or on our new Sports Network YouTube channel. We're hoping a little calmer pregame on the schedule for tomorrow, as we think everything will be a little smoother, but we thought it'd be smooth here tonight, and then there was just Jack, it's a good life lesson. You think everything's going to be good, you get comfortable in what you're doing, everything's great, and all of a sudden technical issue followed by a schedule change from one of our coaches, and just wreaked havoc, and we were able to work our way through that.
Yeah, and in this world, you'll have a lot of that stuff. Unexpected things are going to happen all the time. There's technical difficulties that sometimes nobody can control it. It's just random events. This past weekend, I was working a soccer game, and our setup went down, and we had to move everything. We missed 5 minutes of the game, but we got it all back running smoothly. But yeah, I mean, it happens. It happens all the time, and I think most people understand that.
Now, I just got to check something here. You had a technical issue at a broadcast you were a part of this past week?
Yes.
I'm thinking there's some connection here, Jason. I'm just thinking there's some kind of connection. 34-0 Fort Cherry leading Monessen here at the half. Let's run other scores that we have for you. Mount Lebanon took a 6-0 lead into the locker room at Memorial Stadium in Canonsburg, but the Big Macs an early score in the third quarter to lead there now 7-6 Canumac. And I mentioned in our open, if there can be a must-win game in Week 4, that game for both teams is almost a must-win because, with Norwin and Hempfield being improved, and of course then you still have North Allegheny and Central Catholic, you can't lose that game and think you're going to make your way back to the playoffs.
Yeah, Cannon Mac last season was in all those games too, and they weren't able to eke any of those out. Obviously they're hoping to get a reverse of fortunes here and take that win. As you mentioned, it's as important of a game as you'll get in Week 4.
7-6 Canumac leading Mount Lebanon early in the third. At the half, Wash High 49, Stowe Rocks nothing. At the half, Bentworth 28, Beth Center 7. It's California 36, Avella nothing. The Avella Eagles 4-game win streak to start the season appears to be significantly on the rocks. First half, Jeff Morgan 7, Carmichael's nothing. West Green 21, Mapletown nothing. non-conference action into the second quarter. Ringgold and Southmoreland scoreless. Steel Valley 28, Waynesburg nothing at the break. And Trinity and Bethel Park keep standing there. Rock'em Sock'em Robots standing there just throwing haymakers, 21 each. Late either at the half or, they are at the half, 21-21, Trinity and Bethel Park. And we talked about Trinity and what the Hillers are staring, at heading into conference play next week. They could be 1-4 for the second year in a row. And, you get nothing from the WPIL football committee in terms of seeding when you go 1-4 out of the league.
Yeah, and it really doesn't matter what you do in conference play if you don't, set yourself up for a good seed. Obviously, it matters. You have to get into the postseason, but, Trinity not helping their case to be in a position to go on a run come playoff time.
Well, and certainly an outstanding schedule, at least the ones that the league set up. They played Moon to open week 0, and then the game with McGuffey, when McGuffey's way down from what we're used to seeing there. But then Montour, kudos. That was a ball game, a one-score game. Last week they held Peters Township to the closest ball game Peters has had in 5 wins, or 4 wins to this point coming into tonight. And then now going toe-to-toe with Bethel Park. And Bethel, Upper St. Clair, and Peters are expected to be in some order 1, 2, 3 in that Allegheny 6 conference. So kudos, Hillers need to finish that and get that win, and we'll see them next week at Ringgold. Both teams back on the field. We're still a couple of minutes away from the start of the second half. Peek ahead to what's coming up. Our NFL feature program's coming your way tomorrow morning. We get that all started at 7 a.m. I said 7 a.m. here on WJPA AM. NFL preview, NFL Insider, NFL Fantasy Forecast. Tomorrow, 1:30, we're on the air for a pregame show ahead of Black Hills action. Burgettstown hosting Chartiers Houston. Pirate baseball tomorrow night, Bucks and Oakland next to the last regular season home game, and there'll be no postseason home games, of course, for the Pirates. Steelers and Patriots, airtime 12 noon, kickoff 1 o'clock. Then Kansas City at the New York Giants, and the Lions and Ravens in Sunday night and Monday night football, and all of that on WJPA AM. Producer in our downtown Washington studios right now, Sid Vicious, will be with you after our ball game. And Fort Cherry within a point of instituting the running clock rule. And then you go back, and 4th touchdown PAT was yanked wide to the left, or we would be starting the second half with that running clock rule in effect. But Monessen's going to get the ball. Remember, Monessen kicked off. Fort Cherry didn't handle it cleanly, and the Greyhounds got the ball to start the game. So they kicked off and got the ball. Now they're going to receive the second half kickoff and try to tighten this deficit up a bit if they can. Peek ahead for our two teams. Fort Cherry next week will be home again with Burgettstown. The Rangers, including tonight, play 4 of their final 6 here at home on this new turf. Here tonight, home next week with Burgettstown. Then go to Cornell, a game that's on our watch list. They'll be home with Bishop Canevin. And before you ask if we're going to be back for that, the answer is no. One of the big Pittsburgh TV productions headed by the Steelers is going to be here. And we just didn't think that space-wise that either of our broadcasts would be top-notch if we both showed up. And so we're going to bow out of that one. And but that's the Rangers and Canevin. And Fort Cherry non-conference at Shenango and finishing at home with Sarah Catholic. They certainly hope that conference title gets wrapped up if they're able to prevail the rest of the way. For Monessen, 4 of the final 5 games will be at home. Southside non-conference next week, home with Chartiers Houston. Go to Burgettstown on the 10th of October, and then finish up at home with Bishop Canevin and Cornell. Huge games for the Greyhounds in terms of playoff possibilities. Fort Cherry set to kick off. The run up, Nick Massey puts the foot to it, and the kick will be fielded on the hop at about the 19-yard line. Spinning one way, then back the other. Michael Hines just taken down, and he's going to get actually a loss on the kick return.
Yeah, tried to go horizontal, which is really never a good move on kick return. Ends up giving ground.
And so the tackle ends up being at the 17-yard line, so -2 on a kickoff return. And Monessen starting in a hole, as they have not all, but many of their possessions here tonight. From the 17, it's 1st and 10, a whole bunch on the right side in the backfield, and they're all trying to set blocks, and a running play coming this way forward for a yard, maybe 2. Not a whole lot there on the run by Caden Colbeck. Here's the other thing that we've seen, almost with the exception of the couple of plays that Kyer Payne was up under center, whoever got the ball has been the runner.
Yeah.
There have been no handoffs.
Which the process has been bad on the snaps, so certainly not surprising to see you take another process or another part of that process out.
Gain of 2, 2nd down and 8. Rodney Johnson resets to the left side. Fullback calls for the snap. Handles a blistering, and now here we get a handoff. Ball's on the ground. There you go. Exactly what we were talking about. And Fort Cherry has the loose pigskin. Michael Hines just never got it.
Yeah, and I mean, talk about an announcer's jinx there. For one of the first times all game, they go to a handoff, and right there, it was the handoff process that looked like never had it.
Yeah,
Hines just never had the ball.
And the Rangers come up with the takeaway, the 4th turnover by Monessen. And boy, here's Fort Cherry knocking at the door right off the bat. 11:01 to play here in the 3rd. Oh, at the 19-yard line going in. Sig hands the ball off. Salvini through the hole and almost broke it. Goes down inside the 10. And down at the 8, that's going to be 1st and goal.
Yeah, Salvini, another well-blocked play, and it took every bit of the tackle, Javion Jeffries there, to bring down Salvini. It looked like maybe Salvini was going to be able to keep his footing and jaunt to the end zone.
First and goal for Cherry at the 8-yard line. Again, that 4-back set. Straight ahead, it's Kristen Janosko with his first carry of the night. Janosko pounds it down to about the 4. Janosko, 160 yards on 19 carries and a player down. And that's the one thing, if you're Fort Cherry, already up 34-0 and knocking at the door. They're actually 2 players down, 1 for each team.
Yeah, they're right next to each other. For Monessen, that's Ja'Cory Minnie.
And I think Shattuck is the Archie Shattuck.
Looked like 56. Yeah, that's Archie Shattuck for Fort Cherry.
Well, the good news for Shattuck, he's to his feet. Already playing with a brace on the left knee, but that hobble was a problem with the right side, that walk. And I'm going to deal with a leg injury for Minnie, a lower leg injury. And everybody taking a knee. 10-10 to play 3rd quarter, and Fort Cherry is knocking at the door to indeed institute that mercy rule. Just look at the run there by Janosko, and a couple of players got caught up in the wash. Actually, both guys got caught up in the wash there in the tackle of Janosko.
Yeah, we see Shattuck right here in front of us. He's just hobbling, gets to the bench.
Janosko run good for 4. It's 2nd and goal at the 4-yard line. Now Now the whole backfield to the right of Sig. Toss it that way. And Ryan Huey into the end zone untouched. Huey's second TD run of the night.
Huey's done a good job in his carries. He started a little bit inefficiently, 14 yards through 4 carries, but since then he's been able to pick up 50 on his next 5, including 2 scores.
With that score, with the exception of scores and official timeout indications, the clock will run the rest of the way. Nick Massey to attempt the PAT. Rogers reaches up, handles a high snap, and Massey kicks it home. Fort Cherry 41, Monessen nothing. Kickoff on the WJPA Sports Network, presented by CNX Foundation.
Start strong and stay local. CCBC's Washington County College Center gives you the edge to get ahead. High school students can learn to fly before they drive with our Aviation Academy. If helping others is what you do, let us help you. Advance from LPN to RN and open new doors in your healthcare career. Or get ahead in college by earning general education credits. No matter your path, we're here to help you move forward. Learn more at ccbcwashington.com.
At Slovenian Savings and Loan, they understand you want convenience. That's why their mobile banking app allows you to bank from anywhere, anytime. They also know there's no substitute for personal, one-on-one service from someone who cares about you and your family. Founded on honesty, integrity, and trust in 1925, and that will never change. Big enough to serve, small enough to care. Slovenian Savings and Loan on Boone Avenue in Strabane. SlovenianSavingsandLoan.com. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Mentioned earlier, Norwin and Hempfield much improved this year. Well, Norwin is leading North Allegheny 17-7. Here it is 41-0. Fort Cherry leading Monessen. The kickoff return just across the 20-yard line, and Rangers get that stopped. And I think we got a flag in. Did we get a late hit? Well, I don't see a flag now. I thought I saw the referee, Aaron Pritchard. Yes, we did. Personal foul. Fort Cherry going to give Monessen 15 yards there. I thought I saw Pritchard throw a flag. So kick, return to the 21, but 15 yards. We'll take that out to the 36-yard line.
Yeah, Hounds will take that.
Second penalty against Fort Cherry on the night, 10-yard holding penalty early in the ball game. And this 15-yard mark off on the kickoff return. First and 10 from the 36. Pass play, far side. Colbeck gets the ball out to Javion Jeffries. He'll be able to take that out to about the 40. Pickup of about 4 yards.
Yeah, just a little quick pass. I honestly, it's dangerous as it can be, you know, putting the ball in danger through the air. This is probably Monessen's best course of action to protect the ball even.
Second down and 6 at the 40. And the big guy in the backfield, Torrance Taylor. Eligibles reset. Now Colbeck pulls it down and runs. He's up close to the 45. Matt Sig put a pop on him to keep him from getting across that 45-yard line and perhaps picking up a first down.
And we're at one of those points. If you're Monessen, you want to just put good tape out there. You know, have something positive to take away from this game that's gotten out of hands, and just have something you could point to and say, okay, we fought, we stayed in this game, and have something to take with you into next week.
Bethel Park with a field goal, up 24-21 on Trinity. And the Rangers get penetration, and the third down and 1 play goes backwards. Tavion Taylor loses yardage on the play, loses 3. It'll be 4th down and 4.
Yeah, that's yet another play where, honestly, I thought the snap there was very catchable, and Taylor just didn't handle it well.
Cannon McMillan has added another touchdown, leading Mount Lebanon now 14-6. They're in the 4th. Here it's 4th down and 4 for the Greyhounds. Colbeck dumps the ball off, pass off the fingertips, incomplete. Would have been close to the first down if Hines is able to squeeze that, but he could not. And the incomplete pass, and the ball will go over on downs with 7:20 to play here in the 3rd. Change of possession clock will start once again with the ready mark from the referee. As soon as they get a football out there, Fort Cherry will take over at the Monessen 37. And to the Rangers' credit, and I've seen this conversation a number of places, you know, one of the things that's going to happen is that Rangers are going to get subs in the game. You know, they're not going to pile up, you know, 500 yards after it was 31-0.
Yeah.
And indeed, Sieg hands the ball off, and the running play to the 40-yard line, and Ionesco is slammed to the ground there. Legs got caught underneath and had no defense going face first to the turf. And I believe I said 37-yard line. Obviously, it was the 42-yard line. But that carry good for 2. Ionesco will get a steady dose of activity here in this situation. Second down and 8, play coming wide. And going to pick up yardage inside the 30, the 25, and out of bounds near the 20-yard line on the carry by Landon Tronovsky.
Yeah, Tronovsky, he got that sweep. And he had enough room, got around the edge, and from there, able to make a couple guys miss. Kept rumbling all the way to the sideline.
Tronovsky run for 20. 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. Ryan Huey now to take the direct snap. Hands the ball off, play going to the right. It's Joe Barna, the ball carrier. Barna gets around the bend and lunges for the end zone. Going to be spotted out of bounds, I believe, shy of the goal line.
Another sweep, basically the identical play, just going the opposite way this time. Barna didn't have the edge, cuts it back up inside. It looked like they're going to say, he certainly wasn't down. He had to have stepped out, and that from where they spotted it, looks like right at the 3-yard line. They're going to say that he did step out.
17-yard run for Barna. I think it was Ionesco getting him around the bend, and Barna made a great stick your foot in the ground and cut up inside that block from Ionesco out on the bend. And Fort Cherry going to let the play clock wind all the way down and then take a timeout. 4:42 to play in the 3rd. Fort Cherry 41, Monessen nothing. Back on the WJPA Sports Network, presented by CNX Foundation.
Friday night lights bring our community together, but too many families in Washington County are being torn apart by opioid addiction. I'm Commissioner Electra Janis, and I want you to know you're not alone. Help is here. If you or someone you love is struggling, call our confidential helpline today at 724-228-1234. That's 724-228-1234. Together, we can fight addiction and build a stronger future for Washington County.
Another score update for you. Greene County, Tri-County South matchup. Now Jefferson Morgan up on Carmichael's 21-0. After the timeout, Fort Cherry 1st and goal at the 3-yard line of Monessen. Huey to take the snap with sidecars each way. Huey hands the ball off, running play to the right side and into the end zone. goes Zachary Rodriguez, sophomore.
Yeah, Rodriguez had to make a couple cuts on that inside handoff. First cut got him free. Second cut got him into the end zone. Monessen had a shot at him. It was number 70, which do not have a set number 70 on our roster.
I'm sorry, yeah, it was one of those number changes. It is
Simonte
Hall. Yep. Sorry. You must have been doing something else.
Oh, good.
Thanks to Wade Brown, he said, hey, I want to make sure you got these. Extra point kick up and good for Nick Massey. Fort Cherry 48, Monessen nothing. Kickoff on the WJPA Sports Network presented by CNX Foundation.
GG&C drives Fort Cherry. GG&C Bus Company is looking for CDL drivers. Enjoy flexible hours and scheduling and paid training for new drivers. Drug screening and background checks required. For 50 years, GG&C has provided safe, reliable student and public transportation. They're always looking for school bus, van, and charter drivers and student monitors. Equal opportunity employer. Learn more at ggcbus.com or call 724-222-2320.
Imperial Land Corporation is proud to be developing real estate in Washington and Allegheny counties. Over 3,000 acres can accommodate any size development. The nearly 900-acre Fort Cherry Development District along PA 576 is prime commercial real estate minutes from the Pittsburgh Airport and I-79. Visit imperialland.com or call 412-424-0495 for development opportunities. Good luck to the Fort Cherry Rangers from Imperial Land Corporation.
From 7-0 early in the second quarter, Fort Cherry has exploded for 41 points and just really put this one away late in that first half, and certainly with the two scores here early in the second. 4:25 to play in the third quarter, and again, we are under the National Federation running clock rule. Kickoff will go to the far numbers this time. Return up the hash mark by Hines. Made one guy miss, and now Hines got some room. And he gets out to almost the 40-yard line. Point is just the one guy. He made one man miss, and then he found the seam, and Hines took it to almost the 40.
Just to go back to what you were saying there, Bob. From what I have it, Fort Cherry has scored on each of its possessions since that first quarter. After what was an ugly opening frame, Rangers have really played nearly perfect football.
Kenna McMillan adding on now. Big Macs trailed 6-0 at the half. 3 second half touchdowns. Kennebec 21, Mount Lebanon 6. Thank you, Jacob Knisner. Monessen 1st and 10 right at its own 40-yard line with the clock turning. Quarterback rolls back, hands the ball off, and running play good for about 5 yards for Caden Colbeck. Saw Kyer Payne under center, and it's only been a handful of times, but Colbeck with the run. And get 5. Monessen had minus 26 yards rushing at intermission.
Yeah, if you see a minus sign in front of that number at any point, you're clearly not having a great time running the ball.
2nd down and 5. Play fake, roll out, dump the ball off, pass is caught, and a tackle made in the backfield. Rodney Johnson is going to lose yardage on a completed pass.
That was Payne's first completion of the game. That time it looked like a screen where Johnson really didn't have any blockers out in front.
I know you've heard me tell this story. The old adage about Woody Hayes saying, why would you throw the ball? 2 of 3 things that can happen on it are bad, being incompletion or interception. Woody Hayes could never have fathomed that a completed pass might lose yardage. So, and that's what we just had. So now it's 3rd down and 6. Snaps on the ground. Scramble for it. Ball was picked up and thrown, but it found its way to the ground. Janosko there knocked the thrower down, and that whole play went awry when Payne didn't catch the snap, and there have been so many times that's happened tonight. Well, 4th down and 6. All just Payne that time just didn't catch it.
Honestly, really, since the first quarter, Monessen, the center spot has cleaned up the snaps. It's just now they're not catching them.
Now 4th down and 6. And Payne backpedaling, throws the ball downfield, and pass jumped among 3 defenders and is caught. Nice job there by Colbeck to go up and get it. Good for a first down.
That was a desperation heave from Payne. I don't even know if he looked. He play action, saw 2 red jerseys right in his lap and just chucked one up. Colbeck high points it, makes a great grab.
Ball to the Fort Cherry 33-yard line. That's 33 yards on that completion. Colbeck's first grab of the night. First and 10 at the 33. Running play pounding forward to about the 25-yard line. Completion to the 33 was as far forward as Monessen had gotten tonight, and now they add about 8 more yards to that. I didn't see who the runner was.
That was Payne.
Either time. Payne good for 8 to the 25.
Another fumbled snap.
And we're going to be down and about the line of scrimmage. Yeah, maybe a gain of a yard, and the third quarter comes to an end. 48-0. Fort Cherry with the lead after 3 quarters. We're back on the WJPA Sports Network, presented by CNX Foundation.
I'm RJ Diaz, your safe money guy. If you're approaching retirement, we need to talk. I offer retirement income planning strategies with lower risk and guaranteed income. Call me, 412-569-4000. And remember, I offer safe money investing with 0 fees. Let's get together for a free no obligation review of your retirement plans. I'm RJ Diaz, your safe money guy. 412-569-4000.
Touchdown Waynesburg! Ever wanted to work behind the scenes of a sports broadcast? Waynesburg University's Department of Communication gives you the opportunity to do just that. Our students produce the show, call the action, and tell the story as it happens. Or get involved in the sports information side, taking stats, PA announcing, and delivering the results to a growing sports audience. The Waynesburg University Department of Communication is waiting to hear from you. So what are you waiting for?
For more information, visit waynesburg.edu.
I have Monessen now. Boy, what a scramble there as Payne saves that snap, as you said, Jack. Just one thing after another. He did pick up a yard, so now it's 3rd down and a yard to go for Monessen. Payne under center, hand the ball off, tailback, a little deliberate run there, and it's going to pick up a first down. Rodney Johnson got to about the 16-yard line, or excuse me, 21-yard line, and will move the sticks.
Johnson had to cut back in. Got caught from behind by Landon Chernovsky, but able to keep the feet moving enough to pick up the necessary yardage and move the chains.
End of 3 quarters, Monessen still negative yardage rushing, -8, 81 pass, 73 total. Fort Cherry, 268 yards offense tonight, all on the ground. 1 pass for Fort Cherry in tonight's game. 1st and 10, Monessen at the Fort Cherry 21, or 22, I guess it is actually. Payne to hand the ball off. Tavian Taylor slipped a tackle in the backfield. He's to the 15, to the 10. Taylor knocked out of bounds inside the 5-yard line.
Good burst from Taylor. He was met close to the line of scrimmage by Chernovsky. He was able to break through the arm tackle and burst his way down inside the 5.
The ball is at the Fort Cherry 4-yard line, 18 yards on that run for Taylor. Bethel Park has added a touchdown, now leading Trinity 31-21. First and goal at the 4, straight ahead, and powering into the end zone for the touchdown is Rodney Johnson.
And, you know, obviously you're not really going against the starting unit here, but that's a positive at least to take away on offense for Monessen to put together a nice drive where you're able to throw it, run it, and end up in the end zone.
So it's 48-6, the Greyhounds point after. They will line up to kick. One of the things that Rudley Destel did in the pregame, had to make sure that he kicked the ball several times. I was watching him, and he ended up like he was taking a divot. Snap is bobbled, ball is loose, and Destel's just going to fall on it, so the conversion attempt goes awry. Fort Cherry 48, Monessen 6, 10:05 to play in the ball game. Back on the WJPA Sports Network, presented by CNX Foundation.
We go into individuals' homes and provide non-medical care for mainly senior citizens, but also people with disabilities.
For Sunny Days In-Home Care, John Bennett.
We do stuff like bathing, grooming, meal preparation, take people to doctor's appointments. Someone needs a little bit of assistance to help them stay in their home instead of going into a facility, and we like to come in and be the people that do that for them.
Sunny Days In-Home Care, providing compassionate care for your loved one in the comfort of their home. Find out more, sunnydaysinhomecare.com.
Monarch Student Transportation is proud to support the Fort Cherry Rangers. Monarch's primary goal is safe transportation. With top-of-the-line equipment and the best drivers in the business, Monarch provides the highest quality transportation available, building on a tradition of safety and excellence. Monarch takes great pride in the schools and communities they serve. Monarch Student Transportation is now hiring. Call 888-317-4144 or online at monarchtrans.com.
60-yard scoring drive for Monessen. Convert a 4th down with a 33-yard heave. And another 3rd down, and then the run by Taylor to set them up for 1st and goal, and then Johnson caps it off with his 4-yard touchdown run. 48-6. Just under 10 minutes remaining in the ball game, and the clock even now running on the run up for the kickoff. And going back to make it, it will be Joseph Barna. Barna bringing it right up the middle of the field, 25, 30, 35, and now beyond everybody wearing a white jersey. Joseph Barna goes to the house.
Just ran it up the middle. White jerseys weren't able to keep in their lanes and slots, and he just burst through. Good blocking up front, and once he got past everyone, he was gone.
84-yard kickoff return, grabbed it with his back to the goal he was going to attack, and took it 84 yards to the house. 54-6. Rogers to hold, Massey to kick. This is one of those situations where you just want everything to be clean here. And the problem with the snap and whistles blow the play dead. And we look like we get an illegal participation penalty. Maybe Monessen have 12 players on the field? Fort Cherry will decline, but I did not see, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh.
And he's running off.
Yep, that's a lonely feeling because there ain't nobody wearing your uniform now for about 40 yards to where you got to run. Extra point kick by Massey, up and good. The 84-yard kickoff return for Joseph Barna. Fort Cherry 55, Monessen 6. We'll keep it here. Good to have you along on WJPA, AM in or FM in Washington, online WJPA.com. Peters Township leading West Allegheny. That score 28-0 in the 4th. Trinity on the board again, now 31-28 Bethel Park with a 3-point lead with 10 minutes to play. Southmoreland leading Ringgold 18-7. That's in the third quarter. And North Allegheny is close to within 17-14 of Norwin now. They are in the fourth. Nick Massey to kick off. And the clock will wind once again when Massey puts his foot to it, and that will be the case. Kick will be taken at the 13-yard line outside the hash marks far side. Spinorama and Tavian Taylor ended up flat-footed after that spin move and goes down.
Well, I mentioned putting something positive on film. Well, you allow a big kick return touchdown after your scoring drive, so I'm sure these players are going to want to give another thing for Wade Brown to be able to point to as a positive.
Just under 9 minutes to play here in the ball game. Monessen with the football, looks to be at the 24-yard line. Will go. And Monessen not a huge roster. Play fake, rolling out. Kyer Payne keeps it. Now a flag flies well after the whistle.
Yeah, it had to be thrown there. It looked like Payne got hit late. But yet another ball on the ground off of the snap.
Dead ball, personal foul against Fort Cherry. So it was after the play, so the loss back to the 21. But then the 15-yard penalty. Take the ball out to the 36-yard line, and that's another first down. And after the penalty administration, the clock will turn. Ball at the 36. Greyhounds. Kyer Payne up under center. Turn and hand to the, fake the handoff to the tailback, and Payne gets swallowed up after a gain of just a yard.
Looked like yet again Payne was bobbling it out of the snap. I don't know how this keeps happening. See it on replay. It was a handoff. Yeah, faking the handoff and trying to take it around. He almost lost it.
Yeah, you almost wonder if that was supposed to be a handoff, and he didn't feel confident in his in the ball security, so he just kept it.
Yeah, definitely don't see a play like that where the quarterback wheels around. Wouldn't be a good play design, so I would assume you're right, Bob.
Torrance Taylor, Rodney Johnson behind Payne, second down and 9. Payne to put it up, man right in his face, and Payne taken down on the sack. Gonna be a loss.
Yeah, Payne on the play action. He had no time to react to that rush. Just got full-on blitz. Getting in there first was Caleb Kirby. He was able to get some support as well. Chernovsky in there to help out.
Loss of 7 on the sack. And, you know, play action only works if you have a running game that's a threat. You know, if you don't have to pay attention to the running game, then you just keep coming. And it just delays your setup in your drop. And that's there was no opportunity to get a pass off there. Shotgun formation now. High snap goes over Payne. Scramble back inside the 15. Payne's going to heave it down the field. Ball is caught out near midfield. Push off there by Javion Jeffries. If we get this shot downfield, watch Jeffries push off to get to the ball, but he makes a tremendous grab and picks up another first down.
Yeah, we'll see. if we can get it.
Yeah, got a hand on the bad defender's drifting back, maybe not quite a push, but he stopped Locke Zilich from backing up to where he could pick it off.
Didn't seem, we'll say, that's one of those ones, looks bad for the defender, or it looks bad for the offensive player, and it probably should be called, but the defensive player has to be able to get back to that spot. He completely misjudged where that ball was going.
And now a loose ball on the ground, back around the 30, and the Monessen player doesn't cover the ball, and Fort Cherry ends up with it. Just all kind of hard to understand what's happening, and
yeah, that one. You see it. It's a little swing pass. It's certainly not a forward pass.
Yeah, backwards pass tipped by the Rangers, and then Tavion Taylor doesn't cover the loose football, and Fort Cherry takes over at the 27-yard line. 5 minutes to play. Fort Cherry is going to run a base offense. Bethel Park has scored another touchdown, and now Bethel Park 38, Trinity 28. When that's what we saw at Montour, the Hillers just could not get a stop. And now down by 10 once again against Bethel. Rangers will take as much of the play clock ahead of every snap. Play clock down under 10. Now the cadence will start. Barna takes the handoff, running play on the right side. The Jack Smith, the runner. 4:05 remaining. That carry down to the 19-yard line. 8 yards on the run for Smith. And again, Fort Cherry has 55 points on the board. They've thrown one pass tonight, and that was incomplete. They've just been able to do what they want on the ground. 5 on the play clock. Barna brings the team set, takes the snap and hands it off. Again, Smith cuts outside. Smith took a big hit, though. He got knocked down by Caden Colbeck.
Yeah, to go back to what you were saying, though, Bob, just it's been a domination up front. Almost every run play, Monessen's bringing 7, 8, 9 guys to the ball. It doesn't matter because Fort Cherry's just winning their blocks up front. Monessen's not tackling well.
They indicate the 2-yard run for Smith is good for a first down. Canna-McMillan, that is a final, our first final score of the night. Canamac 21, Mount Lebanon 6. So check off one for the Big Macs in a must-win game here early on. And Mount Lebanon now has lost 2 in a row in conference play to start. Smith takes the handoff. He's spun around by the shirt sleeve, the jersey sleeve, and pulled down for a loss. Rangers just trying to run out the clock. There's a big part of me, as well as I know Tanner Gary, he's not looking for another score. Just wants the game clock to get to zeros.
Yeah, you don't want to risk any injuries here because this is, it's a Fort Cherry roster. It's very strong in size, but I mean, you don't want to. They use a lot of different players on this team, and you don't want to get any of those guys injured, even if they are reserves.
Approaching 2 minutes to play in the game. Second down and 13 at the 20. Play clock under 5, and Barna calls for the snap, hands it off. And I thought for a minute maybe that Adai Fields had gotten there too soon. The ball carrier is Brendan Ballard. Boy, it seemed like Fields was there as soon as Ballard got the handoff. Let's see if he comes across early and get a play. Yeah, it was right at the snap, so Fields did the right thing and took Ballard. Ballard's first carry. So third down is upcoming. Ball at the 22, so Ballard lost 2 yards. And Bethel Park has scored again, now 45-28, putting that one in the win column for the Blackhawks. They're down. Ballard gets the call again, ran out of a tackle in the backfield, got back only to the line of scrimmage, and that will bring up 4th down. Play clock has not started yet, and now it will, and the Rangers do indeed have to snap the ball. But it will be all that they have to do. But Trinity 21 all tie at the half and got to within 31-28, but back-to-back scores for Bethel Park has opened that up to a 17-point Bethel Park lead in the 4th. Difference of about 7 seconds on the play clock here. Ballard gets the handoff, will run it up the middle, and Ballard will be tackled at about the 15-yard line in what will be the final play of the game. 7-0 Fort Cherry after 1 in an ugly first 12 minutes. Both teams putting the ball on the ground too much, and really a sloppy first quarter, but the Rangers righted the ship and, boy, just dominated from that point on over the final 36 minutes.
Yeah, they were pretty much perfect the rest of the way. Offensively speaking, they had their way on the ground, just pounding the Greyhounds the whole way through. Defensively, it was a really, really good effort from Fort Cherry. The tackling was excellent. It was a team effort in tackling, always on the ball. There were multiple red jerseys, and it just was a physical domination. Monessen just couldn't keep up today. We got to see a piece of history as well.
We'll get you a quick recap when we come back on the WJPA Sports Network, presented by CNX Foundation.
You deserve a bank that drives your business. One that's with you for the long haul and knows how to keep your business rolling. At Washington Financial, we pride ourselves on delivering customized solutions, ones that are built for the unique journey your business is on. Go with the bank that gets you. Washington Financial Bank.
Hi, this is Mark Baer from Bud Baer Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Listen to this deal. A 2025 Sierra 1500 Elevation for only $399 a month plus tax. And with only $3,150 cash or trade equity.
Stock number 253064, 36-month lease at 10,000 miles per year. Payment includes $3,250 GMC Buick lease loyalty. Must qualify based on Tier 1 credit approval with GMF.
BudBearGM.com.
Bud Bear. Couple of final scores in addition to our 55-6 Fort Cherry win over Monessen. California 42 and Avella nothing. Avella's 4-game win streak comes to an end. No updates on those other games that we were watching so intently, but big win for the Big Macs, 21-6 at home against Mount Lebanon. 3 second-half touchdowns put the Big Macs in the win column. And, we'll get the other scores posted and updated for you as we go. 3 touchdowns in the first half for Matt Sig, and into the top spot all time in the 100-plus year history of the WPIAL. Nobody has as many touchdowns scored as Matt Sig. Just an impressive number.
Yeah, I mean, Sig's just been able to have a tremendous career. It's far from over. You know, you have still another half of this regular season, and presumably a few playoff games at least for this Fort Cherry squad, and he can really add on to that record. And you know, it's just it's always a fun time getting to watch Sig play. Just a really special talent. You don't see guys like that a lot. They don't come around too often. It's always fun to watch whenever they do.
Well, and you mentioned, I mean, this is game 5, 5 more regular season games for Fort Cherry. The Rangers will host Burgettstown, go to Cornell, host Bishop Canevin, go to Shenango, host Sarah Catholic. Then the WPIL playoffs start, barring an upset. There's 4 games there. If they win their 3rd straight WPIL title, you go to the state semis. Win that, you go to the state finals. You could have 11 games left.
Yeah, I mean, that's with how he is. I mean, you're talking about potentially putting a big lead on that record. So, I mean, I'm sure that's not what he's concerned about, but just a, cool thought to have.
Indeed, and Matt Sig with 151 yards rushing, 14 carries all in the first half, and those 3 rushing touchdowns. A 50-yarder to start the scoring. Fort Cherry led 7-0 at the end of one. Sig added the second score of the night, a 9-yard run to make it 14-0. Blake Sweeter recovered a loose fumble, a loose ball in the Monessen end zone to make it 21-0. Ryan Huey, 28-yard touchdown run to make it 27-0. And then Sig set the record with his 118th career touchdown score, a 27-yard run late in the first half to make it 34-0. Go to the second half, Monessen fumbled the ball away on their second offensive possession. Fort Cherry took over. Ryan Huey's second rushing touchdown. Add on to that the rushing score for, I believe, Zachary Rodriguez. Yes. Rodriguez with a 3-yard touchdown run. Monessen got on the board. Johnson, 4-yard run, 9-play, 60-yard drive for the Greyhounds to get their only points. They kick it off, and Joseph Barna takes it back 84 yards to the house, and that proved to be the end of the scoring. Fort Cherry with 270 rushing yards tonight, and Monessen finished with less than 10 yards on the ground, and right around 100 yards total offense for the night. Coming up in just a minute, get another break, and then we'll recognize our player of the game, brought to you by Washington County College Center, operated by Community College of Beaver County.
My Dream Field has a scoreboard with a giant TV.
My Dream Field has dugouts for our mascot to dance on.
My Dream Field has lights to play at night. And a duck pond.
CNX is making dream fields come true by donating millions of dollars throughout Appalachia. Nominate your field at cnx.com/dreamfields.
Start strong and stay local. CCBC's Washington County College Center gives you the edge to get ahead. High school students can learn to fly before they drive with our Aviation Academy. If helping others is what you do, let us help you. Advance from LPN to RN and open new doors in your healthcare career. Or get ahead in college by earning general education credits. No matter your path, we're here to help you move forward. Learn more at ccbcwashington.com.
There I am. Sorry about that. It's just been one of those kind of fun nights. On a night when he becomes the WPIL's all-time touchdown rushing leader, and he leads his team to as an impressive victory as 55-6 would indicate. Our Washington County College Center CCBC player of the game, none other than senior quarterback Matt Sig.
Yeah, I'm sure the folks at home are very surprised.
I know people were probably shouting, "What are you talking about? Did you even watch the game? What's wrong with you, radio guy?" But there we are. Matt Sig, the player of the game, 151 rushing yards on 14 first half carries, 3 of them ending in the end zone, the last one from 27 yards out. The 118th scoring play touchdown for Matt Sig in his career. A couple of other scores: Washington 49, Stowe Rocks 6. That is a final. And I see Seton LaSalle beat Carleton 49-0. Southmoreland leading Ringgold 28-7. That is a non-conference game. We will be at Ringgold's Joe Montana Stadium next Friday night as the Rams and Hillers square off, and both of them will be apparently coming in licking their wounds with losses in their final tune-up games coming in. Jeff Morgan leading Carmichael's now 27-0. Well, I got to do one more thing here. I got to grab my notes, right? I need to do that. I got to grab my notes here. Tonight's game on the WJPA Sports Network has been brought to you in part by CNX Dreamfields, making your dream field come true. By Bud Bear Mazda and Bud Bear Buick GMC on Route 19 South in Washington, home of the Bud Bear Cares Rewards Program. By Washington Financial Bank for 125 years, proud to be the bank that gets you. By Monarch Student Transportation. Monarch is now hiring. Log on monarchtrans.com for details. By Sunny Days In-Home Care, providing compassionate care in the comfort of home. sunnydaysinhomecare.com. And by Waynesburg University. Grow with us at Waynesburg University. Coverage also brought to you by R.J. Diaz, your safe money guy in Bridgeville, Burgettstown, and Washington. By Imperial Land Corporation, supporting the Fort Cherry Rangers. By GG&C Bus. Drive for GG&C. Call 724-222-2320. By Washington County Human Services. Take the first step toward a healthier life. Call 724-228-1234. By Slovenian Savings and Loan. Big enough to serve, small enough to care. And by Washington County Calling Center, operated by Community College of Beaver County. Be sure to catch our NFL features tomorrow morning on WJPA AM. NFL Preview, Insider, and Fantasy Forecast begin at 7 a.m. Our high school coverage continues tomorrow afternoon. Staying right here in the 1A Black Hills Conference, Burgettstown hosts Chartiers Houston at Hill Memorial Stadium as the Blue Devils celebrate homecoming. We'll have the game on WJPA AM and our YouTube channel starting at 1:30. Steelers visit the New England Patriots Sunday afternoon. Airtime is 12 noon on WJPA AM, followed by the Sunday night matchup with the Chiefs and Giants, and we'll carry the Monday night game as well, the Lions and the Ravens. Week 5 high school action here on WJPA includes the 4A Big Six opener, Trinity at Ringgold, and Avella's trip to Fredericktown as the Eagles take on Beth Center. Thanks to head coaches Wade Brown and Tanner Gary, to athletic director Tom Scarpone and the entire crew here at Fort Cherry. From our partner Jack Sacco, floor directors Scott Donnelly and Jason Tennant, Brett Gambita and Joey Cipoletti on camera, Bill Chapo, Sid Vicious producing in our downtown Washington studios. Thanks so much for being with us. From Jim Gary Stadium outside of McDonald, I'm Bob Gregg. Your final score, Fort Cherry 55, Monessen 6. This has been a presentation of the WJPA Sports Network.